I've got a feeling, woohoo, that tonight's gonna be a good... Has the Amazon delivery arrived?
No, the show's about to start.
The show's about to start? How long?
4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yeah.
I haven't got...
Do you want me to go and get your drink?
Yeah,
Okay,
4
I'll
minutes.
go
I've
get
not
that.
got a drink or anything. I need a drink.
No, you sort your check out.
LCTV starts in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Jane. Jane. Where are you? 3 minutes.
LCTV starts in 2 minutes.
Where the blooming heck is Jane? Where is she? Only 2 minutes.
LCTV starts in 1 minute.
Has she gone to Asda for that drink or what? Jane! Jane, where are the notes for the show? Oh, God, we need the notes. Oh, I'll have to get them. Hello everyone, hi. Welcome to another Saturday afternoon LCTV at 3 with myself and
Jane, how are you guys? How's your week been?
We've got, who have we got in there? Stephen Smart, good afternoon Lee and Jane, hope you're both well.
We are indeed, yes.
Yes,
Stephen,
we're well.
Hope you are too.
Yeah. Tangerine Dan, number
Dan.
1, Tangerine Dan 1, hi. Hi Dan, are you okay? We'll just wait for you to catch up, obviously it's a little bit of a delay, so we'll just wait for you to to come in. Let's see who we got in today. Just post your comments below and we'll say hello to you. We've got lots to talk about today. Unfortunately, The Nobbers won in midweek, so they've closed the gap a little bit back onto Cardiff, which is a bit of a worry. So we'll be keeping an eye on that match today. Hopefully, John Stevens. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Hopefully, hopefully Preston lose today. We don't want them getting back into those playoffs. So we shall keep an eye on the scores for you.
John's back with his new laptop. Congratulations, happy new laptop.
Oh, a new laptop.
How is it?
Ooh. What make have you got? What make is it?
Oh, Nappa's mum's here. Hi.
Hello, Jill. How you doing? Catherine Stanley's here as well. Hello, Kate.
Hi, Kate. And a new pad in Lancaster.
Oh,
wow.
a new pad in Lancaster. That sounds exciting.
It's all very exciting.
It's all going on, isn't it, today? Everybody's having fun.
Definitely stimulating the economy in here today, aren't we? With new laptops and new pads. Great.
I think probably a few of you will be keeping us up to date on scores, but we will keep. We'll let you know what's gone on so far. Full time today: Norwich 0, West Ham 4.
Yeah, but Norwich are really sort of looking in serious trouble now at the bottom of the table. They're a little bit adrift. So.
Sharky won't be too happy. Watford 2, Newcastle 1. That's not very good for Sharky. It's Liverpool are playing Burnley today. Sheffield United are a late kick-off against Chelsea at 5:30, and Brighton and Man City tonight at 8 o'clock. In the Championship, Reading beat Charlton 1-0. Unfortunately, Derby are imploding. They've lost 3-1 to Brentford. And Preston today are playing Nottingham Forest, so that's a very big game.
Oh, Mr. Moley is here.
Norwich are now down.
He messaged me earlier apologising for his absence, but he's here, so that's magnificent.
Oh.
It's great to see you.
Nice to have you here, Mr. Moley. We didn't think you'd be here today.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
Excuse me a moment, viewers. Is that meant to be flashing up there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, right, great.
Yep.
Are the wrong side of the M55 playing today? Yes, they are. Norwich are now down, or actually down. Gosh, that's...
Ooh. Well, they're just up and down, Norwich, aren't they? They could just never stay in. They just keep getting back. You know, they get back in, don't they?
Oh, Ryan, loved that wee skit during the 5-minute countdown. It's been there for weeks. Usually late. So, yeah, lots going on in and around the world of football. My notes for the show today dominated by Wigan, really, and events there, which is it's looking a little bit more hopeful this week. There's interested parties, so yeah, fingers crossed there.
Are they still going to get a points deduction? Or...
Well, they're appealing that. Yeah, the council leader, David Molyneux, has written an open letter to the Football League saying, I would urge that given the unique circumstance of this case and the potential for failings in your own processes to have contributed to this situation, that you suspend any threat of the 12-point deduction penalty indefinitely. So
good.
Strong words there. And also, what I didn't realise, they're subject to a further 15-point deduction if the new owner doesn't pay 25% owed to creditors. So it could get even worse potentially there, but hopefully they'll go into good hands. Wigan Warriors might be taking them over. That's one of the options. They've been under the same ownership before, Wigan Warriors and Wigan Athletic. So.
You'd think that would be like a logical thing. Ryan saying on the wrong side of the M55 playing today. Yes, they are. They're playing Nottingham Forest at home, so fingers crossed there that Forest can do one over Preston, because Derby are falling to pieces. Cardiff, are they playing today? No, Cardiff aren't playing today.
Tom Jackson's here. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Reigning quiz champion.
Yeah, sad news on the passing of Jack Charlton yesterday. Yeah, he really is a true icon, and it's very sad. But he was, how old was he? 85.
85,
so
and he wasn't a well man.
He had a good innings, I suppose. But I mean, they're both brothers of quite long livers, aren't they?
Yeah, he was a legend, wasn't he, when he was the Ireland manager? We've been watching a bit of quite a lot of Italian 90 footage. There's so much of it on the telly, on ITV and I think Amazon. So, because I was interested in taking myself back because that was when I fell in love with football. So, and I was reminded of Jack Charlton and Ireland, and it was maybe part of the reason I fell in love with football in the first place, because it was the England-Ireland match was the first match that I ever watched, and of course they were all playing in the English leagues back then. They weren't, arguably were English. A lot of them weren't they? The Irish.
Well, it was
players.
a real rough and tough game against the Irish, wasn't it? We managed to get a draw, but they really stopped us playing football, didn't they, that day? It was like negative football from Jack, but he did well to get them into the through in the qualifying
Yeah,
rounds.
he did. Got them to the quarterfinals, was
So
it?
there's a legend there. Sad for them. John Halley is saying he got an Acer Aspire 3. A son gave him £100 towards
Oh wow,
it.
that's very nice.
So was
isn't
that
it?
what
Have to
£100
get your boys
just
trained.
£100 just for Father's Day or something, or was it a birthday? Or that's not a bad little gift, is it?
No, that's great.
And they're quite a good brand, Acer, aren't they? Very good brand of laptop. So I hope you enjoy it, John. I hope we look okay on it as well. I hope it makes us look good.
Mr. Moley says, I see Liverpool just had another Guard of Honour from Burnley. Why two? Will they have one every game for the next 30 years until they win it again? I like that.
Oh, they've got a Guard of Honour, have they?
Well, I guess it's just like the Blackpool fans getting a Guard of Honour coming out of Swansea that time.
Tangerine Dan is playing FIFA at home and he just scored an absolute peach with Dewsbury Hall.
Oh, brilliant. Well done.
We'd like him
you're
back,
better at FIFA than Dewsbury Hall was.
We've signed a new midfielder, haven't we? It sounds quite exciting. Maybe he's going to take over in the Dewsbury. We were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah.
Maybe a stand-in for Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, we signed
Millwall Smithy
Hi.
is here. Yes, he is. Hi, Lee and Jane. Hope you're doing well. Yes, we are. Oh, you've just taken the lead at Hull. Lions tame the Tigers. Oh, yeah, well, Hull are in. Oh, yeah, you
Hull are in
have.
trouble.
1-0 to Millwall.
I
Are
just
you watching
reviewed
it
a book.
live, Smithy? Are you watching it on iFollow? Tangerine Army is here. Hi, guys, up the pool. Yes. Hello, Tangerine Army.
I've just reviewed a book about Hull City. If you go onto my Twitter or blog, you'll be able to see on my Facebook writers page. You'll be able to see that. So I've learnt a lot about Hull City through reading that, and now the club has had a lot of parallels with Blackpool in its unexpected rise to the Premier League, and then the Premier League effectively ruining the club and the fallout from that, and the ownership, and now a lot of their fans are boycotting, sadly. So there's a lot of parallels with Blackpool there that I had no idea about. It's very interesting.
Tom Jackson is saying he's excited with the new signings this week at Blackpool. We have been as well. Haven't
Yeah, we have been very
We've been
excited.
excited with these. Both of them look. This defender we've got from Leyton Orient.
Yeah, 6'4", Marvin Ekbitesa.
Marvin. On the night
So
shift.
he sounds great, and Leyton Orient are gutted to have lost him. The fans
Yeah,
are.
this doesn't happen very often when we sign players, that you get the opposition fans saying, oh, we're really going to miss him, do they? And we say, oh, thank God you've taken him off our hands or something, or worst player we've had at the club in years. But no,
they're
it's
saying
nice.
that they don't begrudge him a step up and they wish him well, but they're very sorry to have lost him. And we've also signed Oliver Sarkic from Burton Albion. Well, he was released by Burton Albion, I think.
But apparently he was spotted by Critchley in Portugal. Was it Portugal?
Yeah, he's played for
Which
Benfica.
This is one of the things I was saying to Jane. This Critchley knows.
Preston
He'll
are
know
losing.
a lot of. Preston are losing. That's great news. Come on for it. So what I was saying is, like, Critchley will know lots and lots of young boys. He'll have seen lots of talent over the years, and the fact that he's actually seen him out playing in Portugal. He must have been out with maybe Liverpool under 23s playing Portugal side maybe, and he's obviously well respected in the game. I think he's going to bring us in some real gems, and we haven't even started on Liverpool players yet, have we? We haven't got one from Liverpool yet, so be interesting to see what players come in.
I know he's got a very exotic name, and he's a Montenegro international at one level, and but he was born in Grimsby, I think. So.
Oh, okay. So Tangerine Dan is saying he's the twin brother of the Aston Villa goalkeeper Mattia. Is it Sarkic? Are we saying that? Is that how we say his name?
It's got a hat on the S, isn't it? So it would be Sharkic. Sharkits.
We're also linked with him as well. It'd be good to have two brothers in the side.
Yeah, but I like our goalkeeper, so I don't want to get the other goalkeeper in, not play him, and then upset this guy.
Yeah, but you got to have cover, haven't you? And he's got rid of, he's got rid of that big lad, hasn't he? That we had, the young lad. I can't think what his name is. The black.
We've got Jack Sims as well.
Yeah, we've got Jack Sims. Yeah.
Who did well when he came?
He did very well. Yeah. Daniel Teckers. Hi, Daniel. Are you okay?
Oh, hi, welcome back.
By the way, Daniel Teckers is a YouTuber. and you can go and check him out and go and subscribe to him if you haven't already. He's one that joins our show, and obviously we like to promote other YouTube football vloggers. So Daniel Teckers is, I'm just trying to think which club he's with.
St Albans.
St Albans, that's it. Yeah, St Albans, that's it.
Yes, St Albans.
It's confirmed. Yes, he's something to St Albans, and it's some number I can't remember. So,
Tom says, "Did you know out of 10 playoff games, Preston have only ever won one?" Best
No.
question from the quiz on Tuesday night. Yeah,
Yes, no,
I had to put that one in.
we
That was
are-
my favourite playoff stat.
we are well aware of that stat, aren't we? It's a fabulous stat, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyone else, in case you missed it, there was also a question about how many consecutive playoff matches did Blackpool win? We hold the record, and it was 10. 10 consecutive playoff matches, which is impressive. So.
PNE versus Forest, the Billy Davies derby. What a got that guy is. Made the semi-final against Forest in 2010 all the sweeter. Yes, it did actually. Yes, and he was so convinced he was going to win, wasn't he? He was beautiful, and when we stuffed it right up him because I didn't like him. Hang on, St Albans signed the 5 top goal scorer in the league last year, which is very good.
Wow, yeah, that is good.
That is the 5th top goal. Yeah, that is very good.
Oh, John says we look great. Just nice having some new tech. Yeah, I bet it is. I'm due a new phone this year, so that's very exciting. P.S. The club refunded £40 for my 2 unused Blackpool versus Sunderland tickets from March last. Oh, well, that's good.
Well, that's all right, isn't it? So you've almost got a freebie there, John. And I hope it's really good.
Yeah, they actually rang me, but I missed the call to refund me on the away tickets.
Ryan's been following your chippy tweets this week.
Oh, yes.
You've been she's been tweeting about food this week, haven't you?
Always like tweeting about
what have your
chippies.
tweets been? You've done a book review this week. She's done a book review. What's your book on?
The book that I've reviewed is the Hull City one that I mentioned before, so that's an interesting read. I'm just started reading. I'll show you what I'm reading at the moment. Actually, this is a very, very good book. I love this already. I can't put it down actually. If you can see, that's probably not from this distance, but if you're on a very big screen, there's a pen in the middle of it. Beautiful. It's The Miracle of Castel di Sangro, which is the story of a little club a little mountain town club in Italy that was only formed in 1953 and somehow miraculously made it all the way up to Serie B, and this book is covering their exploits at Serie B level in the 93-94 season, I think. So yeah, it's very, very, very interesting and very, very well written. So look out for my review on that next week.
Well, this is going to be a real top book review this time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something you really like. Right. John, message from Ben. He's just missed the bus from Blackpool and will be with you shortly. So he said, "Don't panic. He's on his way. He's missed his bus. Oh well. As long as he gets in sometime." Yes, Norwich has gone down today. That should really please Nick.
Yeah.
You'll be happy, won't you?
Yeah. Lee always looks great in HD on the big screens in Moley Towers. Wow.
I think he's just saying we look great. I think he's saying like Lee, it always looks great in HD on the big screen. So that's really good, isn't it? Well, so you got us on a big screen. That's good. That's great to see. Liverpool almost scored. St Albans signed about 12 players. I can see the Saints going for the title.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting to see there are some clubs like Blackpool that are manoeuvring quite early in the transfer market.
Yeah,
so.
we never do that, do we? We never ever.
I think someone accused us of trying to buy the league earlier this week, which made me laugh.
Trying to buy the league?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Wow, that's
hilarious,
that's a first, isn't it? Blackpool trying to buy the league.
I'm sure getting players in from Burton and Leyton Orient really constitutes buying the league. It's not like we're getting players from Liverpool yet.
Have we seen the Blackpool accounts going around?
Yeah, I saw they were published. Was it yesterday or the day before? But I haven't looked into them in too much detail. I just read the headlines that income obviously increased significantly after the fans started going back, but it's still pretty grim reading. But hopefully, well, it's not going to be any better this year, is it really, to be honest?
No, it's going to be, every football club's going to be terrible.
But the exciting thing is that whenever we sign a new player and they interview the new player, that part of what they say is they're very excited about the vision for the future and the exciting plans that are in place, so and the long-term growth. So, yeah, it's very exciting.
Mr. Molly says it's one of his top 10 sports books of all time.
Wow, not just top 10 football books, top 10 sport books. Yeah,
Wow.
that's great. Well, no spoilers, please, because I'm not halfway through yet.
You have been captivated by it, though, haven't you?
Oh, definitely.
You really are.
I can't put it. Well, to be honest, it's partly because it's quite a thick book compared to a lot of them that I have been reading. I give myself just a week to read it and then review it. And I'm thinking I don't want it getting on top of me, so I'm trying to sort of rattle through it a little bit. But also, I don't want to put it down because I just want to find out what happens. So it's exceptionally well written. Some very interesting metaphors in there. I'll try and find you one while Lee holds the fort for a second.
Smithy is saying that he once met Gary Brabin, or that Brabin geezer, at dinner when he was at Luton. Top drawer, he was hard as nails. Yeah, he was hard as nails. Absolutely, he was. He was hard when he was playing. In fact, he's an absolute legend at Hull. And if you watch the interview, he actually came back to Hull with Torquay, and he got like a hero's welcome, and he got really angry about sort of substitution near the end, and they let one in, and they brought this young kid on. He wasn't happy about it, and the red rage came down. He got sent off so he got this big hero's welcome onto the pitch, and then he got sent off. But that's the type of player he was. He just went in. He was one of those players that you really 100% of which all fans like, and he was really hard, and he replaced Andy Morrison. Andy Morrison left, and Andy Morrison was another one that was an absolute beast. He was another really hard guy. Liam White says he's sorry I'm late. No, it doesn't matter. We're on till close to 5, so no problem.
Oh yeah, we had to leave early last week. Well, on time last week, didn't we? Because we were going to the drive-in.
Yes, we were going to the drive-in, and it was brilliant.
So
it was
good.
Absolutely amazing.
Recommend it if you get a chance to go.
Yeah, it's really, really good. We went twice, didn't we?
We did. We went to see The Greatest Showman on Saturday night, and then we went to see Grease on Sunday night, which was a late night drive-in.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Really good. Yeah, it's amazing. I've always wanted to go to like an outdoor, but just the weather wasn't brilliant. If it had been a really sunny, warm night, it'd have been great with in a convertible or something watching it. I'd have loved that.
But they deliver food to your car, so if you put your hazard lights on in the car, they'll come along and take your order. They give you a menu on the way, and then they'll bring you in. They're all sorts.
They have beers, didn't they? And popcorn and
burgers, chips, popcorn,
chips with gravy.
Yeah, chips with gravy. Well, no, it said fries with bisto, so it didn't really appeal too much. But
Daniel Ticker says it's a shame that the best player at the club has gone. Who is the best player at St Albans, and who have you lost, and where have they gone? Ryan Dunbar listened to a podcast yesterday, and they were saying, take Bournemouth for example, not having fans in isn't really going to affect them, as they will make roughly the same money just on TV. Well, I suppose they will from the Premier League, won't they? But it's going to affect the teams that aren't in the Premier League, isn't it? Really, they're the ones that are going to really suffer.
John is asking who will win the League One playoff final. I'll say Wycombe 2, Oxford 1. Yeah, that's Monday, I think, isn't it, the League One playoff final?
Yeah, so it's kind of, well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think much of Wycombe when we played them, but we thought Oxford were pretty good at Bloomfield Road, but you weren't too impressed with them at Oxford, were you? So.
No, I'd happily get rid of Wycombe actually, just for the away day. Oxford's a good one. There's some good pubs in Oxford, and the pies are magnificent. So, yeah, Wycombe, didn't really see anything of Wycombe, actually. Although, no, I do want to go to the Mad Squirrel Brewery, which I couldn't because it was midweek this year, so,
Mr. Moley has a tip for us.
Oh.
An iPlayer tip. Pele, Argentina and the Dictators. Superb documentary about the 78 and 70 World Cups, the Argentine junta of the time and the political influence on the games. Wonderful stuff. Ooh, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we'll have a look at that. Thank you, Mr. Moley. That sounds interesting.
That's BBC, is it? BBC iPlayer?
iPlayer, yeah. Right, let's have a look. Tangerine Dan, I'd really like to watch a sport documentary on Netflix or Amazon about Blackpool after watching Sunderland's on Netflix and Man City's on Amazon. I would really like to see us on my TV. Yeah, I know, it's kind of fascinating. You'd love to see your own club, because it was amazing how they did Sunderland Till I Die.
I'm not sure they
go for that. We haven't watched the Man City one yet, have we? We keep meaning to watch.
Simon Sadler seems quite a private person, so I'm not quite sure he'd allow people in if he couldn't control what was going out. So.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like it.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see in a way, but kind of in a way you can know too much, I think, sometimes.
Right, Ryan. I may as well get this in early and say Mickey Mellon's Dundee United might not be promoted after all if Hearts win their case, which fills me with so much
Oh, it sounds such a mess,
joy.
doesn't it? In
Oh
Scotland,
gosh,
with
you were
other
looking at
clubs
it today,
suing
weren't you? Suing
each
and
other.
countered. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a big mess.
it is
You know,
ridiculous.
I know you keep telling us, Ryan, it's a mess, but honestly, it's looking a real
It
mess.
just
because
sounds
Scotland
ridiculous.
has-
It's a shame. I was just saying how pleased I was that they got it all sorted out quickly and could get on with next season, and they can't at all because it's not sorted out, is it?
No. Oh, Nick's giving it a bit to Ben again. Cosvlogs is late, still upset over Fleetwood staying down. I think I watched it and he handled it very well.
He's been going to the pub a lot.
I would have been crying more than him. I would have been really upset at all that because they didn't play very well in that first game, and the referee seemed to he didn't seem to do any favours to Fleetwood and sending two off and sending his favourite striker off because it was a penalty and they didn't give it a dive, and then they booked him for arguing about it. I just think it was
Paddy
so
Madden
odd.
has actually been charged with abusing an official.
Oh, well, it was ridiculous in a cup game, and it was a penalty, and
Extenuating circumstances.
yeah,
isn't
it
there?
was really. It just
Oh, Mr. Moley's singing "Standing at the Drive-In."
it's like stabbing a dog in the eye with a stick, isn't it? They're not expecting it to bite you. It's just I don't know. Stranded at the drive-in, yes. Branded a fool. Yeah.
Go on, sing it.
Really. Stranded at the drive-in, branded a fool. What will they say Monday at school?
Paul Maynard's here. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. There we are. Everybody's gone now. That was everybody who's watching. He's just left because I was singing. All right, okay. Oh, the Nobbers have just scored. Oh, good God.
St Albans Dean Snedker, who
Send
was at the
bad
club
vibes
for
down to Deepdale for everybody.
Dean Snedker, who was at the club for 3 years,
Ah.
has left St Albans.
Dean Snedker, what was he? Was he a striker?
Very good goalkeeper.
Oh, he was a goalkeeper. Nick Pope says a strike from Salah. Yeah, Novice just scored.
So on Monday, Manchester City will hear the result of their appeal against their 2-year European ban. So interesting to see how they got on there.
Why are Preston called the Nobbers, says Alan Smith? Well, they're called the Nobbers because it was Preston North End, which became Preston Knob End. So now it's just the Nobbers.
That's what you affectionately know them as the Nobbers. It's actually an affectionate.
I actually don't mind being called. They call us the Lashes.
It just comes out automatically.
Yeah, they call us the Lashes and we call them the Nobbers, but it's
Donkey Lashes.
Yeah, Donkey Lashes. So so we're the Donkey Lashes and they're the Preston Knob Enders. So
Nick says he wants Wickham to go up because the ground's so hard to get to. Yeah, I think we used to get a bus from town to Widditch. They used to have a free bus on, I think, back in the day. I don't know if they still do that. But yeah, we stopped in. Where did we stop? Somewhere north of Wickham. I want to say Banbury, but I'm not sure it was. Is where I went to that brewery tap house that didn't have any of its brewery's beers on. It's very good.
Ryan's saying something about transfers. Kieran Tierney at Arsenal cost 25 million from Celtic. There won't be big money transfers for a long time now until clubs start making money.
No, indeed.
I think there's going to be quite a big effect on transfers and player wages and everything. Well, I'm hoping so because the whole thing's ridiculous anyway, isn't it? I mean, 25 million it's just ridiculous.
There's been a few. Wigan are selling Jensen Weir to Brighton and Hove Albion for £500,000, which will help them to pay the wages for the rest of the season. And also Plymouth are making redundancies as part of their restructure programme. So there's a lot of jobs at risk there.
Liam White saying, "Come on, the Lily Whites." Liam White's our sort of. It's kind of Blackpool, aren't you? Blackpool and Preston, which we all find really hard to kind of get to, but
he'll grow out of it.
We don't call them the Lily Whites here. There's no such thing.
David Skoll says, "Hi, sorry I'm late. Was busy trying to forget stuff in training to get back wooden spoon." Yeah, you lost your wooden spoon in the quiz on Tuesday, but yeah, it's up for grabs again this week.
Okay, but Daniel Texas is now confirming that they've brought someone in who looks very good at St Albans. He's watched a compilation on him. We watched a few of these compilation things, haven't we? They look like worldies, and then they come to play, and they're not always as good as the compilations.
They're not going to put the low lights on.
No, but sometimes, if you can see some of the things you do, you just hope that they're going to, do that when they come to play for you. It'll be amazing.
Oh, John Haley says he saw Jason and the Argonauts at a drive-in in Adelaide in the mid-60s, about 1965. I was 5. Gosh. Jason and the Argonauts, blimey, how was that?
Oh yeah, gosh, that used to be like, that was ahead of its time, wasn't it? With all that stop-start animation and the skeletons and all that. I used to think that's a brilliant film, but now I think we watched something on it a while ago. It looks so dated now, but back then it was amazing. It's amazing how you would think that was amazing, and yet it just doesn't look amazing now.
It was like Star Trek, wasn't it? The early Star Trek.
Yeah, you think that was amazing, but now, if you watch, it's if you compare that blooming Lost in Space to Star Trek, flipping out, it's incredible. You actually think it will look like that in like 100 years' time or something, don't you? When you watch that, it's so real. Has Armand left? As far as we know, he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, he left a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he's gone.
Sadly.
Mr. Molly visited Jerusalem last week, went to the Wailing Wall, felt a complete fool, stood there with my harpoon.
Oh,
Mr. Molly.
He's back.
We need Mr. Molly for these class jokes.
Well, where do
we
you
need to get
these
some
from?
good jokes next time. See if we can beat Mr. Molly on his jokes. Tangerine Dan saying, I can't wait for the new kits after seeing the new training gear. I'm a huge Puma fan. I'm definitely getting the match day training top.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? That blue, the darkish blue.
Yeah,
that
looked really ace. But we were saying you got to be pretty blooming. You got to be in good nick to get
yeah,
away with that
it's
one.
like I've
really tight,
had this
innit?
before where you buy football shirts and they can be a bit clingy. So
we just felt that they were kind of little teaser pictures, weren't they? They weren't showing you. You couldn't really tell.
No, there was a few more.
There's a few more now,
there
is there?
that are a bit better.
Well, it should be better with Puma. There's undoubtedly it's going to be a better brand. Hopefully, some really nice stuff. Even training gear as well as normal tops. I'm quite looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, Ryan says Dundee United asking every club for money to fight this case. Rangers better not give them a penny. Yeah, it's sort of such a mess, isn't it?
Who's the bad
clubs
guy
against
though?
clubs.
Who's the bad guy? Because they're all saying they're all against each other. Somebody's suing somebody, and then somebody saying they shouldn't have. It's just I can't even make out who's in the right and who's in the wrong. It all sounds bad.
Our hearts aren't happy with Dundee United at all.
Daniel's Techers is telling us that St Albans need defenders.
Oh,
Defenders.
Right. Yeah, Blackpool need attackers.
Ryan Dunbar says, beat Molly with jokes, don't tempt me.
Oh. John was scared of that film.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen it,
Yeah, he was scary, Jason and the Argonauts. Have you never seen Jason and the
I
Argonauts?
don't think I've heard
With
of
those
it.
skeletons.
But... No, I don't believe I've seen it. Is it set? Where's it set?
It's like an ancient Greece or whatever, isn't it? He travels across. He's got to go and find the Golden Fleece.
Oh, is it a Greek myth? Based on a Greek myth.
So he fights the 8-headed whatever it's Hydra thing with all the big snake thing coming at him, and then he has all these skeletons that rise up from the dead, and they have to fight them. And there's loads of different really bad things. There's Poseidon in the sea. It's brilliant.
Oh gosh, sounds scary.
Do you want any football cards? No, we're all right. We don't say football cards, but we do get pictures of them and put them in our quiz. I take it you've got 10,000, Liam, have you, football cards to go along with your 900 shirts?
Daniel says you can have this 41-year striker if you want. He can only score screamers.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, how old was he? Do you remember Roger Miller? We were actually watching we watched One Night in Turin, didn't we? And
yeah.
And it was amazing that Roger Miller, they were saying he was like 38, but he looked older, didn't he, than 38?
Yeah, there was always rumours at the time that he was
the
much
flag
older.
and everything, wasn't he? He was an odd character. It's yeah, it doesn't get any easier. We watched it a few times, and it almost made me sad when
actually they had.
Just wish Waddle had not put that ball over the net.
They had extended highlights on ITV of the England-Cameroon match from Italia 90, and they were all over us. We were so lucky to win that. But yeah, there was some great memories from that wonderful World Cup that made me fall in love with football.
Right, Ryan Dunbar is trying to explain to us Scottish football. So, in layman's terms, oops, it's just gone off the screen. Let's just go back a little bit there. So, in layman's terms, Hearts are challenging their relegation, which means United wouldn't go up, and United are counter-challenging. That's it in a nutshell, effectively. Right, okay. So Hearts are challenging the relegation.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it? I kind of hope they.
I mean, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser, doesn't there? You know, they can't. They have to make a decision.
Accept
Somebody's
it.
got to lose, haven't they? Somebody's gonna go down. It's like Tranmere Rovers. You know, they've gone down, but they were 3 points behind, but with a game in hand. No, so is that fair? But somebody's got to go down. You know, somebody's got to make a decision
So
on it.
this was always going to happen. There was always going to be legal implications of what happened with the football.
I don't see how they can win really, because I mean, the coronavirus is a coronavirus. It stopped football, and what can you do? You know, what can you do? Do we think David Dunn will be a success at Barrow? Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course he's been appointed Barrow manager this week. David Dunn, Blackpool's coach.
I think he did all right, didn't he?
He did when he took over at Blackpool as caretaker
he
for
did
3
all right.
matches. He stopped the rot, and I don't think we lost while he was caretaker.
And he said all the right things, didn't he? You liked his interviews. He was all
he
like talking
did.
about we, and he
mentioned the fans,
Yeah, he
which
did.
was important to try and get the fans back on side, because
did.
Larry never acknowledged the fans, really.
And he was
basically,
right
this
behind
time
the
round.
players, whereas
Yeah, and trying to encourage the players and build up
whereas
the players.
Simon Grayson was just constantly
them.
criticising the players, wasn't he? He was awful.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a hard act to follow at Barrow, obviously, with Ian Everett doing so well there, but yeah, fingers crossed he can carry on and maybe learn a bit from them about what they've been doing up there.
Best
Their
bit of
sexy
Jason
football.
and the Argonauts, according to Smithy, and we're on back on Cockney Rowsham, was that big Iron Man geezer coming to life and causing Barney Rubble, so causing trouble. Brilliant movie. Which big Iron Man? I remember.
Oh, this sounds great. We need to watch
Poseidon
this.
coming out of the sea. He was massive, wasn't he? The big Poseidon guy, but he was like obviously the god of the sea.
Yeah, I ought to know more about Greek myths. I did buy a book of Greek myths once, but never read it.
Daniel Tekers confirms he's the most transferred player in England.
Who is it? What's his name? Dan says we've got to go for Jerry Yates. His quality and a bargain. We outbid Swindon by bidding $500,000 for Yates. Wow.
Did we?
Yeah, we're being linked with him a lot. Oh, Liam's Scottish.
How big is he, this Jerry Yates? Is he tall?
I don't know.
Do we know much about it? Is he a replacement for Nangeli? Because obviously we've got Super Nuttall. We've got Feed the Nut, haven't we? And Ryan Hardy. Is
Did
that
you
gonna
hear
be
Richie Welland's comments as Swindon manager? He said they put in a bid for Yates from Rotherham, but another club, Rimmerty Pool, had come in with a much higher at 500,000. Wow, gosh, that's amazing, isn't it? That we've got that money.
It is amazing. It's
Where's
just
that come from?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Ryan says Hearts are more likely to win now because of the precedent set by the Belgian Pro League during the week, where the bottom team didn't get relegated. Wow. Did get relegated to the Court for Arbitration for Sports. So what would they do then? Would they just have extra teams in? Would they keep Hearts up but promote Dundee United as well, just to keep everybody happy? Maybe that's a solution.
Daniel Tekers has confirmed that player's called Jefferson Lewis.
What happened in Belgium, Ryan? Did the promoted team still get promoted? Jefferson Louis rings a bell. Tangerine Army saying, "Did you have you seen Marvelous?" Yeah, I did spot that was on. Actually, it's on one of the iPlayers, isn't it? You haven't seen it, have you?
No.
Oh, we must watch
You have
that.
seen this, haven't
It's such a wonderful, heartwarming, feel-good film. It's really, really, really good.
We watched it. We actually watched a good film last night. We watched this.
Oh God, that was amazing. It wasn't football related.
No, it's not football, but it was good. It was the one that won the Oscars. The South Korean film.
Which we can't. Parasite.
Yeah.
Really, really good. It's on. Was it Amazon Prime? We watched it on. We had
Amazon
to
Prime.
pay
We had
for
to pay,
it.
Yeah, it was £4.50.
God, it's an amazing film.
It's really good.
It's so different. I've never watched a Korean film before, but it is really, really. You've got no idea where it's going, and there's so many twists and turns.
It's amazing for
It's
a South
really,
for,
really
for,
good.
for a South Korean film to actually win the Oscars as best film, not
best foreign film,
not best
just
foreign
actually
film, but best film.
And it is really, really good.
Yeah,
I
it
recommend
is.
you watch that if you haven't. It's worth paying for and worth watching. We were absorbed, weren't we, right from the beginning to end?
Liverpool have gone one up. Super Nuttall, did I hear that right? I think you meant say non-league Nuttall. No, we've got to big him up. We can't be putting him down, can we? Super Joe.
Oh, that's interesting. So they will keep Hearts up and Dundee United would stay down, and the promoted team didn't get promoted in Belgium. Well, that's mean bag, isn't it?
That just seems harsh, doesn't it?
It would just be nice.
To get
Be nice to each other.
To get promoted, if you've won promotion, you should get promotion.
Yeah, that's devastating.
It's so
yeah.
hard to win promotion and then not get it. I think it's really cruel.
Well, Mr. Moley's just found some old BFC programmes and an autograph book from the 1970s. Wow. God, I bet there's some interesting stuff in there. Whose autographs did you get? I've got a lot of signed photos of players from the early 90s. Some Blackpool players, some random other players, a lot of Manchester United players. I've always kept them.
Robertson scored for Liverpool 1-0. Yeah, we've got that in. Millwall still 1 up. Bristol City are beating Middlesbrough 1-0. It's still, I haven't. That's not updated. It's still saying Forest are leading Preston, but somebody said they've equalised.
Ryan says if you like your comedy,
Oh,
Jeff
yeah,
Dunham watched him during the week on Netflix.
Yeah, Preston 1-1.
Yeah, we'll look out for that, Ryan. So what else we got? There's no positive coronavirus tests in the EFL again this week, so that's the second successive week. So this is good. It's the numbers are really dropping now, which is good. Let's hope it stays that way because Blackpool's pretty busy. You've been out this morning, haven't you? It's pretty busy out there.
Yeah, I've been out. I was out filming. I was doing a little bit of Blackpool are back video, which is going to go up this week, just to show some of the things that are going on down on the front. But yeah, it was honestly you couldn't get a parking space anyway. It was murder, so it was quite a hard thing, but it is. Yeah, it's busy. Pleasure Beach is open. Piers are open. Go karts are open.
Yeah, we're going to go down the Pleasure Beach, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's it's
apparently
great
obviously it's relatively quiet because numbers are restricted, so it's a good time to go really because you don't have to queue for everything. You pay up front and you just get swiped in. You don't have to queue to get in, which is
so. Daniel Tex is going through a little bit here, telling us about on the games when he scored 2 goals. I went home sick. The goals were brilliant. So far, they're the goals he scored so far. Still bottled it at 2-0 lead against bottom of the league.
Oh dear.
Was that last season? If you like your comedy, Jeff Dunham watched him during the week. Jeff Dunham watched him during the week on Netflix. Jeff Dunham. I've not heard of him.
No, I've never heard of him.
No. Is that just a like a one-off one-man show, or is it a series?
I was reading this morning there's a winding up petition against Macclesfield Town on the 9th of September because they owe £72,000 to the taxman. So they're in real trouble, aren't they, Macclesfield? They're saying they're hoping that the manager will stay on, but would you stay on at Macclesfield, really, if you're not being paid and you don't know what's going to happen? Would you want to stay for the players? Do the players even want to be there? It's a horrible situation. I hope they get, sorted out.
Yeah, it's sad.
Soon. I can see them not starting next season, sadly.
Oh, Tangerine Dan just mentioned a name there, Andy Robertson. He came from nothing in Scotland to probably one of the best fullbacks in the world. Wow.
Mr. Moley
it was this year, says Daniel Teckers. Yeah,
76,
that was this year.
77 Blackpool squad autographs. David Hockaday, Mike Betts, Paul Garner, Alan Ainscoe, Mickey Walsh, Bob Ward, Brian Wilson, Bob Hatton, Peter Sudderby, Dave Tong, Ian Hesford, Jeff Chandler. God, Ian Hesford, I remember. I've seen him play. He played on for quite a long time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did go on a long time.
Ryan says he's seen a vlog during the week at Blackpool Pleasure Beach and the ride seems to be quiet except Big One and Jeff Dunham is a ventriloquist. Oh, I do like a ventriloquist. I like Terry Fater who won America's Got Talent. He's amazing.
Yeah, he went out to Vegas, didn't he?
Yeah, I nearly went to see him when I was in Vegas, actually.
When will the 2021 fixtures be due? Any ideas about league start? Well, they're saying September, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm hearing different dates. One's end of August, one's is it the 12th of September. So we'll see.
We were wondering whether there'll be any sort of pre-season matches. You know, whether fans will be able to go to them because obviously there won't be many at pre-season, will there? But
yeah, I'm not sure. They might be behind closed doors like they were for the teams that had sort of mid warm-up matches before the league started again.
Daniel Teckers has actually got the signatures of Willian and Ramirez.
Wow.
Blimey, how did you get those? Did you go to like a Premier League game? Autographs and selfies may be hard to get this coming season, says Nick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not. It's going to be hard, isn't it, to get close to players this
Well,
year.
I always used to write to them when I was, when I was younger. I used to write to the players and ask them for a signed photograph, and they used to send them to me in the post. I put a stamped addressed envelope in there, and yeah, I had quite a good hit rate. That's where I got all mine from. So I didn't go. I was too shy to speak to them in person, but in the post, it's great. I just write them a nice letter, or send them a birthday card on the birthdays. I used to do that as well. So. How could they not send me a
Mr.
signed
Moley
photo?
has got Lancashire players: David Lloyd, Jack Simmons, Frank Hayes, Clive Lloyd. Blimey. Cricketers, we'll take it that will be, won't it? Yeah.
Ryan's got a quiz question for us. Johnny Hubbard was nicknamed the penalty king at Rangers. Out of 68 penalties, how many do you reckon he scored?
Wow.
Out of 68?
65.
I'm going to go 68.
Okay.
If he was the king.
If he was a king, he should have scored them all.
Yeah. What else have we got today?
Daniel saw them in 2014 when he went to his first ever football match against Sunderland.
Oh, wow.
Blimey.
Walsall player Callum Cockerell-Mollett has just signed a new contract. He made 15 appearances for the last season. I remember him from Chasetown because I signed him for Chasetown. So, no, I didn't sign him for Chasetown, but I was there when he was there. Someone else did the paperwork for that one.
Spot on, by the way.
He was a good player.
65.
Oh, well done.
65. Good guess.
The National League are going to be having playoffs for the other promotion spots in all three divisions. So the semi-finals are, the matches are going to take place the last 2 weekends in July, and the finals are going to be on the 1st and 2nd of August. So they have 6 teams in the playoffs in the National League. The teams that finish 2nd and 3rd don't have to play in the first round of matches, and then they will each be at home to the winners of the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th teams playing each other.
Just say that again. So let's just go through that again.
So the teams that finish 2nd and 3rd don't have to play in the first round.
Okay.
You've got the teams that finish 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th will be playing, whether that's
to play off them.
5th play 8th maybe and 6th play 7th. And then the winners of the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th will play 2nd and 3rd.
Wow, that's a fairer way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the final after that. So the teams in the National League playoffs to come up to League 2 are Boreham Wood, Halifax Town, Yeovil Town, Barnet, Notts County and Harrogate. So who do we want to come up out of those? Not Yeovil.
Mr. Moley has got Liverpool signature autographs. Terry McDermott, Sammy Lee, Dalglish, Phil Thompson, Jimmy Case, Alan Hansen, Tommy Smith and Emily Hughes. Wow, they're great names, aren't they? David Scholl says you will have a vast collection of players' personal assistants autographs.
Oh, that's harsh. I think a lot of the players won't have had. I mean, we're talking like Blackpool in Division 4 level, so I doubt they'll have had personal assistants. But yeah, mate, I think some like the Manchester United ones were mass generated, photocopied. I think.
Good guess. What I should have said was good game. Good game. Yes, very good game. It's
Now, there's some former league teams in the National League North playoffs as well. There's Chester, York and Boston. So we've had a bit of controversy with VAR in the week, haven't we? What are your opinions on that? Does it need tweaking a little bit or getting rid of, or is there a future for it, do you think?
Daniel Teckers is giving us the name of a goal scorer called, what is he called? Joe Iacofano. Signed for St Albans last summer. I hope he stays, but I feel he will leave. He signed from Northampton Town.
Oh,
He's a good striker. Maybe we should get on to Critchley and put his name about. Never heard of him. Joe. How many goals did he score last season then, Daniel? Yes, Jack Charlton. Rest in peace. Yeah, we've said it's very sad. He's 85. He's not been well for a while, has he? But he's definitely a hero of the World Cup in the 1966 World Cup squad he was in. And also as Northern Ireland manager, he was amazing. Was it
Republic of
Ireland manager? Yeah.
Dan says he gets to go back to playing football on Tuesday, but it won't be the same. Need my own ball, and it will take time to adjust. Gosh, need your own ball. Is that to trade to warm up with?
Wow, you got to bring your own ball.
Mm.
Daniel Texas, he scored about 17 goals this season. That's quite prolific because it's not been a full season, has it? So that's very good.
Yeah.
Right, true story. On the Football Daft podcast yesterday, their guest was Marvin Andrews, and he used to play for a team in Trinidad called Motown FC. And the guy said to him, bet the tunes were good at half time. Yeah, I bet they were great.
Motown FC. What a great
Motown
name.
FC. Wow,
That's awesome.
that is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're in Trinidad. Never been to Trinidad or Tobago. What have you got there for us, Jane?
Just quite a lot about Wigan really now.
Okay.
The supporters trust has raised £140,000, which is to go to the running costs of the club. They've also been paying for the coaches for the team to travel away, and also they've got the club have got a free coach from a Eves Way coach company, so they're putting on free transport for the next away game.
Can't believe it, can you? You just can't believe it. You can't believe Wigan. But FA Cup winners.
They've made 75 support staff redundant, and the senior club execs are working for free. So it's
right. Updates on the scores. Let's just go through the scores
hopefully
at the moment.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
For those that didn't catch it earlier on, West Ham earlier on in the day beat Norwich 4-0, so we do believe that's Norwich relegated. Watford beat Newcastle 2-1, so that's not good news for our Toonami TV, Sharky. Liverpool are beating Burnley 1-0. Sheffield United and Chelsea kick off at 5:30, and a late kick off at 8 o'clock tonight is Brighton at home against Man City. Reading beat Charlton earlier on in the Championship. Brentford beat Derby 3-1. Barnsley and Wigan are 0-0. Blackburn Rovers have gone, they are playing West Brom, but West Brom are beating Blackburn 1-0. Millwall are beating Hull, so Smithy's still 1-0. Bristol City are beating Middlesbrough 1-0. Forest and Preston are drawing 1-1. And Sheffield Wednesday are beating QPR 1-0 at the moment. So, unfortunately, Preston are drawing. Except for Liam White, who's obviously...
Oh, Smithy's in on the joke front here. Went to Jamaica once with my apple and swirl girl.
Yeah.
Thing that got us with the roadworks on the highways. They were jamming.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, we're jamming.
Having a joke off now, aren't we? Mr. Moley's just found the Evening Gazette 94-95 season review book. All original Gazette reports stuck in. What memories? That will be... Was that still Billy Eyre 94-95? It will be, won't it? Because he was succeeded by Sam Allardyce, which was 95 and 96. He was only there for one season, wasn't he?
Was he only one season, Allardyce?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was sad we sacked him, really. Sad we got rid of him, really, because he was so close, wasn't he? Let down by players, really. It was Big Sam. Marvin Andrews, former Rangers centre-back, very religious man from Trinidad and Tobago, very positive man.
We like positive people, don't we?
We do like positive people, definitely. Right. So what have you all been up to this week? What's everybody been doing this week? That's what we need to know. Have you been... Are any of you back to work, or are you all still locked down? Are you all still at the moment not working, or is it back to work, working from home?
It's nice to see things coming back to life around Blackpool, with the shops open, the hairdressers are open, and the barbers and the beauty salons are all opening now, and the pubs, of course, which is great. The roads, I mean, they've been pretty busy for weeks anyway, but they're noticeably busier now. So it's good to see things sort of coming back to life, and the stats, the coronavirus stats still coming down, which is encouraging.
Ryan Dunbar says, how does Bob Marley like his donuts? With jamming.
Jamming, yeah. Oh,
With
jam donuts. I haven't had one of them for ages.
Who do you think will win the National League South playoffs? Do we know who's in the National League South?
Well, nobody. Well, we're northern. You know, I know all about the Northern Premier League and the Northwest Counties League, and the National League North to a degree, but National League South, it's a bit. Yeah, but I don't really know a lot about it.
I don't even know who's in the National League.
Who do you think are going to win the National League South playoffs?
Well, St Albans, we think, probably.
No, they're not in them.
Oh, they're not?
No.
What's the National League South then? Is that below or above? Oh, they're not really.
No, they're not in the playoffs. They're in the National League.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the National League South playoffs. Oh, right. Who's in them? We don't even know who's in them. Let's have a look. National League South playoffs.
Mr. Morley says, reading the opening day 94-95 report, Blackpool 1, Huddersfield Town 4. Without cheating, can you name the pool starting 11 that day between you or guess the crowd? Oh, my goodness. So that was, we'd be struggling in League 1 because we sort of hovered around the bottom, didn't we? Can you name the pool starting 11 that day? Between you and guess the crowd. The crowd, we weren't getting a lot, were we? We were getting
4,000.
Yeah, I would say about 4, maybe. But first game of the season, though, maybe.
Maybe 5. Yeah.
The pool starting 11.
94, 95.
See, my period that I'd be able to tell you was like 90 to 92. A little bit later. Okay, well, is Paul Groves in there? Was he still with us? Steve McIlhargey? Was he still around in 94, 95? We wouldn't have Briggs anymore.
So we've got in the national Vanarama National League South, we've got Slough versus Dartford, Bath City versus Dorking Wanderers.
Dartford will win National League South playoffs. Geese, says Smithy.
And then it will be Haverton Waterlooville who will play the winner of Slough versus Dartford, and it will be Weymouth versus the winner of Bath City versus Dorking. I'm gonna. Who's you going for there?
I have no idea about any of them.
I'm gonna go for Haverton Waterlooville. There you are. That's my prediction. Haverton Waterlooville.
That wouldn't fit in my anagram generator, Haverton Waterlooville.
Yeah, no, that's a big one, isn't it?
Dan says, I think Simon Sadler's ultimate goal for us is to get us back where we belong in the Premier League. You think we belong in the Premier League? So, wow. Lee and Jane, what do you think Sadler's goal is? Well, certainly to get us into the Championship. And then
I think he'd love to get us in the Premier League. I think that would be his dream goal, but I think at the moment they've got to get into the Championship first, haven't they? I mean, that's without saying, but I'd imagine his immediate goal is to get in the Championship and then get the stadium finished off.
To make the club profitable. To get an academy that brings through players that we can bring on.
Ooh.
And either sell.
Crowd.
Because when was the last time that we had a homegrown player that we sold for any decent sum? Because we used to when we had Neil Bailey. I mean, in the 90s, we had
one, didn't we?
We had.
We're nowhere near the crowd, by the way. It was 8,343.
Wow,
for that
that's very impressive. Pitch described as lush. We
used to have a great pitch at Blackpool, didn't we? We used to have a really, really great pitch. It was famous for being a really good pitch, but just all the drainage collapsed on it, didn't it? It all started to collapse. But back in my day, my dad, I'd always say what a great pitch Blackpool was because it drained so well with the sand. And
Ryan says, to answer your question, been a good week. Spent money on phone most of the day. Spent Monday on phone most of the day with Mrs. for her birthday. Socially distantly seen her last Sunday to give her gifts. Oh, that's nice. I hope she had a lovely birthday.
I think who the team was. It started off in 94, 95.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how long Bamble lasted. We're talking, hang on, we got 92, so we got promoted in 93, so we had 92, 93, 93, 94, 94, 95, so this is like our third.
Was that one?
Or did we get relegated? Is 94, 95 in, what league are we in 94, 95?
No, we got promoted, well, we got to the
we stayed up, didn't we? Yeah, we stayed up.
Honestly, it was just, it's like blank. No, it's that long ago,
I think Dave Bamble would have retired by then.
I have to Google it.
Because he was 30.
Should we ask Alexa, who was in the Blackpool team? 90, 95, 95.
We've had fun with Alexa this week, haven't we?
Oh, we have had in fact, we've got another Alexa, so I've had to...
Oh, you said it too loud.
Oh, yeah. So I've had to change the name of mine to Computer. So
you feel like Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, so it's like being on Star Trek. I just say Computer. It's excellent. I prefer it to Alexa, to be honest. I just like to say it. It's cool. I just say it in the Jean-Luc Picard style. It's great.
Daniel's been playing FIFA all week and bought Didier Drogba. Wow, but he was expensive. How's he doing for you?
Oh, Ryan Dummer says he sees the property on the back of the East Stand on Henry Street to be demolished.
Yeah, there are a couple of properties, wasn't
that
there? I don't
been-
think it's the whole lot, but yeah, it's just a couple that were, bringing the area into disrepute. I
It's
think.
got to be the beginning of the end, surely, for Back Henry Street. It needs to go.
That'd be great.
The
though,
whole
wouldn't it?
area just needs to go. All that Back Henry Street just needs to go. It's horrible.
West Brom beating Blackburn 2-0. You don't like Blackburn, do you?
I don't like Blackburn, so I don't care. But they've gone, haven't they? They've actually gone to pieces, Blackburn.
Shall we have a look at the live league table?
Yeah, we could do. Alan Smith says, remember once we came up north to Blackpool and beat the Tangerines 1-0. 2007, I think. Spent loads of bees and honey in the boozers. Loads of money.
Bees and
Great
honey.
town. Bees and honey. Great town and Club Blackpool. Yes, I don't remember. I don't remember that particular game, Smithy, if I'm being honest.
Was that Nigel Worthington?
In fact,
no, it was after that, wasn't it?
In fact, the last game that
2007.
my dad went to before he died was against Millwall. Was it? Yeah, against Millwall. Yeah, we drew 1-1 with Holloway beating you at half time 1-0 and got an equaliser. But that was my dad's very last game.
Yeah, we could actually do with Blackburn winning that one.
That 8,343 was actually pretty. It was a pretty decent. Attendance on that. You wouldn't get many more than that in Bloomfield Road at the time. It was probably pretty much sold out. So it must have been a lot of optimism at the start of that season. The next best was 6,156 versus Bradford. Average league gate was 5,260 and we finished 12th.
All right, finished 12th. I don't know.
The opening day starting 11 next. Okay,
Okay.
good. Daniel Teckers is saying he's been very good.
Mitch Cook.
Mitch Cook. Was he in the team?
Maybe. It's a guess.
Mitch Cook. Got one. Who would be the goalie?
I don't know who was in goal after McIlhargy.
Would it still be McIlhargy?
It could be.
We've really failed on that, Mr. Muller, I'm afraid to say. The guy who looked after the pitch went on to look after Arsenal and England was never the same again. Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, he did. He did get scouted, didn't he? But it'd been a great pitch, like since Matthews and Morty. We had one of the best pitches in the country because of obviously the sand underneath. It was always a really. My dad used to say, Blackpool's a great pitch, And then we've gone through hell since we built the new stadium. Affected the pitch, the stands. The grass doesn't see the sun enough. Ryan Dunn was watching 4 in bed yesterday, and Blackpool was on it. It's the Highlands pub on South Shore still there.
Not one I know.
The Highlands on South Shore.
Do you mean the High Field?
There's a Highlands up North Shore.
Yeah, on the prom, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever been in, actually. I wanted to.
Yeah.
Is it a Thwaites pub?
Yes.
That one?
Yeah, it's quite nice. They do nice. I've had a lunch in there.
Is it a hotel? Is it a hotel and pub?
I don't think so. I think it's just a pub. I've had a meal in there anyway. It was pretty nice pub food.
Oh, here we go. Mr.
Here
Bowles
we
giving
are.
us the team.
Seeley.
Les Seeley, he was bloody awful, wasn't he? I mean, rest in peace, obviously. But God, he was, and he had an attitude problem, didn't he? He didn't get along with the fans. I think we were booing him, and he just turned round and did that. I'm only here for the money, but really, horrible.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Like
Brown.
Phil Brown.
Phil Brown. Oh, yeah.
David
of course, yes.
Burke. U.R. Mark Bonner.
Suntan.
Ufalorna, Ian Gore, Tony Rodwell, love Tony Rodwell, Andy Gauk, Big Dave Bamber was still playing, blimey.
Tony Ellis still here.
And Brian Griffiths, little Brian Griffiths, blimey.
Daniel Teckers has just scored with Drogba, so he's just playing FIFA.
Subs, James Quinn,
Wow.
Colin Gibson, and Lee Martin.
Martin.
Yeah, Lee Martin,
Hey,
of course.
Ben's-
He was a short goalkeeper.
Ben's just arrived. Cos Vlogs is here, our favourite Fleetwood
Hi, Ben.
vlogger. How are
Glad you
you,
made it.
Ben? We needed to talk to you about the playoffs. For those of you that don't know, Ben is a Fleetwood Town vlogger, and we've met him a couple of times, and he was so excited about the playoffs, and unfortunately, all kind of went pear-shaped in the first game, didn't it, Ben? It just, it was the worst game you could have. They lost 4-1. They got 2 players sent off. Couldn't have been a worse game, really. And they did quite well with the 2-2 draw, didn't they? And give you a bit of hope. And we saw Ben's video after the 2-2 draw, and he'd lost his voice. So he'd obviously been shouting and when they scored and everything else. And,
How are you feeling now, Ben?
What
is
game?
It getting,
what game?
He's
saying no, he's forgotten. It's gone. He's even asking, what game? It's gone. Yeah. On to next season now. Yeah, just got to do it all again next season, Ben. It'll be exciting. It doesn't. To be honest with you, I would say this with football. It doesn't really matter which league you're in, as long as you're up near the top and winning. It's always an enjoyable season when you're up near the top and winning. It's so. If you went up a division, then if it's so say for instance you got the championship and then you were just getting hammered every week and you came straight back down, it wouldn't be an enjoyable season in the championship. You've always got to be kind of up there near the top for football to be good. So as long as you're up around, near the top of your league, you're always going to have a decent season.
Yeah, well, you enjoy it a bit more, don't you? There's a Highlands pub at the top of Redbank Road opposite the tram track. Yeah,
yes,
that's the one.
Yes, the one in Bispam. Yeah.
That's the Thwaites. It's Thwaites, isn't it? Yeah, it is a hotel as well. So yeah.
This is a hotel, yeah.
That is the one that Ryan made. Yeah, it's not South Shore. It's up. Is it like it's Bispam? I think, isn't it? Yeah, up top of Redbank Road.
What's this? John Halley saying Premier League. Are you joking? 10 years of turmoil and uncertainty, simply not.
Yeah, I mean, Hull City was saying that it was similar for them. They got up there and it was amazing. They couldn't believe it. They were pinching themselves and they actually did really well. And then, but it's just led to all sorts of horror stories with the ownership and the way they've changed things and the way they treat the fans. It's
Oh, you were saying they don't get any discounts, do they?
There's no concessions.
No concessions.
Well, there's no season tickets actually anymore. They've got rid of the season ticket and replaced it with this membership scheme that went down like a lead balloon. So pensioners don't get concessions.
They just don't get it, do they? These foreign owners that come into British football, they just don't get it
they're
at
not
all.
Foreign owners.
No, they're not all.
English owners can be as bad as we know very well.
Well, they can, yeah. But what I'm saying is, I am talking about foreign owners coming in and taking these football clubs over and
well, look at Wigan.
Changing the, like you remember Cardiff, the Bluebirds, and they had to be the Red Dragons.
No, they changed the colours, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like, how would you cope with? I don't know. It's just, to me, it's.
Well, the guys at Hull wanted to change the name of the club to Hull
Tigers.
Hull
Tigers, yeah.
And they were saying if they refused to ratify it, he'd pull out of the club, and he didn't.
Although they always were the Tigers, though, weren't they? They always had a tiger badge.
No, they are the Tigers, but to rebrand
but
the
they weren't actually called the Hull
Tigers.
Tigers. Yeah, it's more like an ice hockey team, isn't it? It's very odd, and I don't see why that makes. Why would that make any difference?
Because he thought it would make the club more marketable in the Far East.
Oh. If they called us like the Blackpool Bears or something, would would it make any difference really to anything you call the Blackpool Bears?
Just a gimmick, I guess. Isn't it?
Weird, just a very weird.
Nappa's mum says, hope Ben's remembered her cat food. Oh, you've got a cat. Do you have one cat? Do you have more cats? Tell me about your cats. I like cats.
What have we got here? Yeah, he's gutted his Ben. Yeah, we know you are. It's hard, the playoffs. It's not always good. And the thing with Fleetwood, let's be honest, they've had a great run with promotions and everything else.
Definitely.
From when that Pilly took over, you've had an amazing run. You can't always win it, and you kind of get used to getting promoted every time and winning and all that. And when you lose it, it's really quite hard to take. You kind of just think you'll always win, but you can't. Akin Fenwa's had some abuse after the game too, has he? What happened to Akin Fenwa? Was he a bit naughty in the game? I don't know.
Ryan says, I think even though I'm a Rangers and Blackpool fan and see more of Ibrox than I do Bloomers is a good thing for me, as I always get shivers when I go to Bloomers.
Oh, that's nice. Isn't it?
That's lovely. So how often do you get down?
Is that shivers because it's always cold? I can't be cold. If you're coming down from Scotland, it can't be cold here. Surely you think it's like summer when it's like -5 here. You think, oh, I need my coat today. It's like -5.
Ben says, unfortunately, I have to see you next year. That's a positive from a negative. Oh, that's nice. Yes, it will be nice.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, breaking news. Pep leaves City with immediate effect, says Mr. Moley. Wow, that is news, isn't it? But I don't think it's unexpected, is it? He's going somewhere, isn't he? Where is it he's going?
He
I
just
can't remember. I read something last
he
week.
just unless he's got to be winning Pep Guardiola or he's not happy, is he? Who will they replace him with? Who will be the replacement of Pep Guardiola? But he knows he's a bit up, I don't know. Maybe it's just got too tough for him with Liverpool. He don't fancy it.
No.
Let's have a look who we got.
Ryan says, yeah, looking forward to visiting the new Showtown Museum and the Sands venue. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. The Blackpool Museum, the history of Blackpool. That's going to be wonderful. Very, very excited about that. Have we got any idea when that's going to open?
No, it's not even.
They're still building it, aren't they?
They're still building it, yeah. But it is coming on.
I know they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes.
It's coming on.
Have been for a while.
It's coming on. Still, Preston are still drawing 1-1. Come on, Forest.
Museums actually often looking for volunteers to catalogue equipment and so on. So that's something, maybe people might want to get involved with helping out the Blackpool Museum with that. You can go online. It's a thing you can do.
Is it?
For museums, yeah, to help them out. I've got a friend who does it.
It'll be great. It'll be great when it opens this new museum. It sounds, I mean, it's what Blackpool is. You're convinced Sutty's going to be in there.
Oh, Sutty, yeah, got to have Sutty in there. Yeah, I'd be disappointed if he doesn't have a room all to himself. Sutty.
Yeah, in fact, Sutty. In fact, Jane was telling the people from Mundale all about Sutty, weren't you?
Yes.
Why he got his name Sutty, and what was the reason he got
because
his name
he was
Sutty?
on black and white telly, and he was actually the original Sutty was all yellow, but to make his ears and his nose stand out, they covered them with soot to make them black. So that was the original Sutty. Why they called him Sutty? Because he had soot on his nose and ears.
And he is from Blackpool, isn't he?
He is from Blackpool. He was born on North Pier.
Wow.
Born, sorry, on North Pier. So yeah, we love Sutty. Big fan of Sutty. Especially when he threw that pizza at Paul Daniels after he criticised Blackpool. That was good. Do you remember that?
Did he?
Yeah, Paul Daniels had said something offensive about Blackpool, and then he appeared. I think it was on the Sutty show. He threw a pizza at him, and I don't know, he knocked his tooth out or something because it was frozen.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, it's pretty violent.
Wow, I didn't know that.
A brilliant story. I loved it. So yeah, Sutty's actually one of my big heroes.
Just trying to get the scores up here to see where we are with the latest scores. I'm struggling.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this week how much football content there is on the television, on these iPlayers, on ITV. There is quite a lot. BBC, Amazon Prime, Netflix. Not so much on Netflix, but yeah, there's so much. There's all the highlights of every World Cup since 1990, possibly actually even going back further than that. There's all sorts of highlights of matches and documentaries and films. There's a lot of football things to be watched.
We started watching one that was really drab, wasn't it? We had to turn it off. It was like it was about the.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights ones.
Yeah, the highlights. It was.
But we did watch. There's something.
One Night in Turin was great.
The one on ITV player, which is called something like One Night in Turin, but it's not called that. But it's very similar with Gary Lineker and Terry Butcher and who else? Paul Parker.
Yeah, going back.
Yeah, they all travelled back to the Stadio delle Alpi, which I've just read today was actually built for the World Cup in 1990. So they were going back there and they were reliving things, and they came out with quite a few nuggets that we didn't know about that happened in that World Cup. So that's definitely worth a watch. That one, it's on ITV Play. It's called something like One Night in Turin, but it's not called exactly that. But it's do give it a watch. It's really, really interesting.
We certainly learned about Gary Lineker's tummy ache, didn't we? Which was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and there was news on an injury that was kept quiet as well. So.
Right, let's got quite a bit here. Let's just go down.
Daniel Tecker said he can't wait to go back to Clarence Park. Yeah, I'm ready to start going out again now. I think sort of seeing things opening again and having that social contact and see a bit of live football. I wonder whether we'll be watching non-league football before we watch league football. It'd be interesting to see how that works. Whether non-league clubs will let fans in before league clubs.
Ollie's Vlogs is here. Hello,
Hi,
Ollie.
Ollie.
Hello, Ollie. How are you? Are you well? I hope everything's fine down there.
Oh, Pep Clotet leaves Birmingham City. Sorry, guys, couldn't resist. Oh.
Oh, Mr. Moley, that was all. We were talking
He
about
is leaving, though, isn't
Pep
he?
Guardiola for 10 minutes due to Mr. Moley.
Yeah.
There,
I think he has been linked. I was reading he was linked with somewhere else. Smithy says we've got a beautiful cat called Sage. Sleeps all day and gets us out of the Uncle Ted at night, meowing. Love her though. Aww,
gets them out of bed. Honestly, we're getting this Cockney rhyming slang, slowly but sure.
Yeah, sleeps all day. It's not a bad life, is it, being a cat?
Fake news. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a kitten who used to come and hit me in the face first thing in the morning. Young Benjamin, he was a little terror. I'd had to ban him from the bedroom in the end. I think I had him in because his mom just had her stitches in after she'd when we had a spade after she'd had the kittens, and I had to have the kittens in with me so they didn't pull her stitches out. And God, he was a nightmare. He was punching me in the face all night. It's never again.
Tangerine Dance is seen on his Instagram. Thinks some Fleetwood player got frustrated after the game, and Akinfenwa says he got called a fat water buffalo.
Oh,
Well, he wasn't. He's big though, isn't he? He's enormous. Akinfenwa. He's like, God, he's a massive guy. He really is.
yeah. I think he was being
But he's not
criticised
slow.
for his man boobs, wasn't he? When
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he was. Tangerine Tom,
Hi
hi.
Tom, welcome back.
Nappa's mum is saying, talking of where are they now? I always had a soft spot for Keith Southern. Well, better not go there with Jane on that one. Blackpool's number 4.
Where is he now, Keith Southern? I don't know.
I don't know. He sometimes does Radio Lancashire. I don't think you were a big fan of Southern, were you? Isn't your most favourite player?
No. No, I just never, as a player, he seemed a really lovely guy, but as a player, he just wasn't. There's just, I don't know. I couldn't see what the people could see. I guess. What I did sort of find interesting about him was some games.
He was hard.
Some games it would be like he was in this mania, and you just knew he was going to get booked because he just had the odd game, and you could tell like what mood he was in.
And he'd go in so hard.
But he was a great servant for the club and did very
was.
well. Just not my, not my kind of player, I suppose.
The Premier League was a bit too much for him, wasn't it? I think it was just a little bit a step too far. Great Sooty trivia, says Mr. Moley.
It's a great story.
Daniel Tex has dropped to follow on to our Instagram.
Oh, fab.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, I must admit, I forget all about Instagram half the time.
Yeah, we don't really. You've got to sort of live on your social media platforms to get to know them, and we haven't really got there with Instagram yet.
No, well, even Twitter, I don't do it so much. I must admit.
Ryan says, yeah, he was called a fat water buffalo. He says it was racist abuse, but yet in February he called himself the same thing and said it was banter. So how can he change his mind? Yeah, well, I think it's an interesting argument, isn't it? But I did hear once that if somebody is offended by something, then it's offensive. So if you look at it that way, if it offended him, then it was, it was abusive. It's how it's perceived. Mr. Moley, the bloody cheek of Paul Daniels. He was from Middlesbrough. Yes,
really?
Yeah, Middlesbrough's not the most wonderful place.
Yes,
is
the
it?
Linny
Oh,
Kapoo
God,
story
it's
is a
very
classic.
ugly.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, you didn't know he'd done that, did you? He'd had a stomach upset and sold himself in the game. That's why he couldn't get up. Did they change his shorts?
I don't know what they did. Do you know, Mr. Moley, what the outcome of that was?
Did they change his shorts again? Or did he just run around with a pooey bottom? Keith Southern is on the Everton coaching staff, under 18, as far as he knows. Oh, right, okay, that's an interesting.
Yeah, because we got him from Everton, didn't we? In the first place, we had him on loan from Everton. Him and Peter Clark, who I see. He was always my favourite of the two, Peter Clark.
Yeah,
I mean, I watched him in later years, and he was terrible, but we loved him, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I think that must have just been in comparison to what we'd had before. But when we got those two in, wow, Peter Clark was just wow.
Nick Mullen's asking the question, what were Fleetwood doing in 1990? Well, I think they were in sort of like the league. I don't know where they were. They were in some real low league, weren't they? They've come up so far from where they were. They were just a little non-league team, really.
Not Northwest Counties, maybe. Mr. Moley says my favourite rhyming slang is
Aris. Yes,
What's that?
For your arse, isn't it? Aris, is that not your backside?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Aristotle bottle. You have to expand on that, Mr. Moley or Smithy.
Smith will know.
Ryan says David Vaughan and Luke Varney were better players for me. Was that than Southern?
Of course they were.
Yeah, David Vaughan was a great
They
little player.
were. Yeah,
Varney, I loved. He was exciting.
David Vaughan was my dad's favourite. Really, I think he actually preferred him over Charlie Adam. He was just such a great player.
I quite like Stephen Craney actually. His precision long range passes cross field, they were impressive. I'm trying to think who my favourite was from those days.
Ben went to nursery with David Vaughan's son.
Oh.
Well, that's a little bit of trivia for you there. Oh. So yeah, he won't remember him though, I suppose, if it was nursery. But Jason Puncher nearly did the same thing at Southampton. Remember that? Did he?
I've lost the thread of what we're talking about there. Nearly did what?
I don't know. We're talking about. Where are we talking about?
Oh, did he shit himself?
Lineker's thing.
Lineker slithered along the grass like a dog with worms, then carried on. So no kick change deemed necessary. Oh God, that's gross. You think they'd just sort of toddled him off to the dressing room and changed him and brought him back on? It's not going to.
Harris is Arsenal. So is that? Are we right then? Tis your backside.
Slithered along the grass like a dog with worms.
Fans travelling to games will be a problem when fans go back. Well, this is the problem.
Will
we be able to go? First. I mean, James, will you be able to do your away games?
Well, do you know, I was thinking about this last night, and even if they don't let us in, I could still go. Like if we played Lincoln. The hotels are open, the pubs are open, so I could still go and have the away day experience, even
without the game.
Yeah, so sort of keeping the travel. You know, I mean, you're allowed to freely travel now. Is that all okay? Are you? I can't keep up with.
Would you go?
Well, it'd be a good video, wouldn't it?
Would it?
If it was Lincoln, I'd love to go to Lincoln. Yeah.
But everybody watches the games because of the football. I want to see the crowd and everything. Would be.
Yeah, but for me, it's not.
Yeah, for you,
the football isn't. It's about who we're playing, what's this place like, and so it'll still be of cultural.
A travel vlog.
Yeah. It'd give me some kind of routine and somewhere to go on a Saturday and sort of get back into that. So.
Oh, England shorts were blue. Whiskies, you see, they're on the shorts. I like all this.
Whiskies, yeah.
Yeah, Lineker against Cameroon in the World Cup. Yeah, filled his shorts, then wiped his derriere on the turf. Got away with it because England were in blue shorts because they weren't wearing white shorts, or else that'd have been really bad, wasn't it?
Aris is stuck for Aristotle, which rhymes with bottle, which is made of glass, which for a Cockney rhymes with arse. Oh, glass,
arse, yes. Yeah. So it is arse, yeah. It's on your Irish, yeah. So, but I just thought it just sounded like arse to be honest. So.
No, I've never sort of looked at the
Aristotle, which rhymes with bottle. Wow. How could
Daniel says my brother met Dennis Wise when he was younger. Dennis Wise, God, yeah, I remember him.
UEFA are a bunch of Linekers. Yeah, they are, aren't they? We're not. I'm not really keen on either FIFA or UEFA. In fact, I used to say that, they just won't give us the World Cup, will they? It's just never going to happen. They'll give it anybody but England, and we deserve. We should have a World Cup here. It'd be the best World Cup ever. I think we should I think we should just stuff them and just have our own 4-year competition somewhere in between. In between the Euros, there should be a year, and we just have it in England, and it's the England Cup, and you've all and we just invite all the nations to come and make it bigger than the World Cup, and just have our own competition because they won't give it because it'd be brilliant.
I wonder if things might change now with the controversies with Russia and Qatar, whether that sort of thing will be subject to a lot more scrutiny with who they award the hosting to. I mean, we would have had the Euros this year, wouldn't we?
We should just do our own. We should just make up this new cup, and make a big massive trophy, and have the biggest award of any for any nation cup. I don't know. We could give 50 million to the winners or something because we have that much money here, don't we? And just have our own cup, and just invite teams who've got to qualify for it, and just make our own up. Just have it all the time. Stuff them. That's what I'd do anyway. That's my that would be my solution to it.
Well, I
all.
mean, who knows what the future of the world is going to be with, in this post-coronavirus. Well, is it ever going to be a post-coronavirus era? Will international travel continue as it was, and are there going to be? Might we end up having a home nations thing because people are discouraged from travelling further to maintain the spread of it? You just don't know. You don't know what the world's going to
Got
look
a bit of
like.
catching up to do here. Steve Napper's mum says Steve Crane is so popular at Fleetwood Town. He was popular at Blackpool, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
We
a
love
cracking
Steve
player,
Crane,
really,
didn't
really
we?
good. Yeah. There used to be a
Uh,
guy, a Scottish guy who used to sit on the end of my row. He always used to call him Crazy Legs. Come on, Crazy Legs, he'd say in a Scottish accent. Crazy Legs Crane.
Ryan Dummersley knows someone that lived across the road from Stephen Craney, and Jason Punchin, did nearly saw himself, but missed a few minutes of the second half being in the toilet. Oh well, it's news we didn't know. Oh, Tangerine Aid, hello,
Hi.
Tangerine. Just a quick pop in. Hurdley referring to Blackpool FC as Blackpool Bears. Real City owners wishing to rename them as Tigers. Blackpool's ice hockey team used to be called the Seagulls. Yeah, the Blackpool Seagulls. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If we changed Blackpool to the football club, somebody came in and said, right, I'm going to change to the Blackpool Seagulls because Seagulls are popular in North Korea or something. I just don't see it would make any difference. It's still, at the end of the day, I don't see.
It's rebranding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Making the brand. Kate says last travel on train had to wear a mask. Yeah,
There was something about having to go in shops, isn't there? Something.
and the buses as well. Yeah, public transport. I think you do need to wear a mask. We've got some nice little soft ones now that we wear. I've been to the doctors and worn it in there because you're not allowed into the doctors without wearing one. So you don't have to get hot in them.
Socially distant crowds in the corner flag restaurant to watch the games might only be 20 or 30 in it, but still could be done. Yeah, you could probably, and even in the big lounge, you could get social distance so many in, but I don't know. I can't. Football's got to get back, hasn't it, to proper crowds and everything. Until it does, it's just not football, is it?
Well, we're on the way there now.
I mean, if we went into Bloomfield Road and they'd only allow 3,000, and it wouldn't be a very good atmosphere, would it?
It would just be like the last few years.
Yeah, it would be like under the Oystons, yeah.
John Haley says 1990-91. Fleetwood Town were in the MPL Premier Division, finishing 4th. Source Wikipedia. Oh,
yeah,
well, that's
they were quite low down. I mean,
that's a division higher than Chase Town, so that's step 3.
Andy Pilly's brought them. He's brought them from nowhere, hasn't he? He's been amazing, really. And like I say, it's a shame. It's a shame that he was a Blackpool fan and fell out with the Oystons, like everybody fell out with the Oystons, I suppose.
Nick Muller says trouble is if away fans are banned from going, some will try to get in the home end. I'm not sure. I think it might just be a case of season ticket holders only.
Manchester City will be cleared.
Yeah, I think they will be as well. I think they were quite. I think they were. Yeah.
Is this about the financial irregularities?
About the European ban. Yeah, I'd heard they were going in with quite a few threats to say that other clubs had done the same thing and bring them into it. So just leave us alone, or we'll just
we'll spill the beans on everybody else, and it'll all be coming down. Yeah, because I should imagine there's a lot more cheating goes on in Italy and everywhere else. I mean, they're famous for it, aren't they? All sorts of.
So whether they'll get it reduced to a 1 year, possibly on appeal.
Rhyming slang, according to Mr. Moley, developed into more complex forms over time, was used by Cockney wide boys so they could discuss criminal plans without the police understanding. Is that where it came from? Then? Was that the reason for criminal?
That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Etymological stat.
Yeah, bring back the home nations. Well, no, bigger than the home nations. It wants to be like the British Cup or something, and just make it a massive, make it as big as we can make everything. Because look what we did with the Olympic Games, the best Olympic Games ever in the history of it. Biggest attendance is everything. If we had the World Cup, it would be the best World Cup. But they're not going to give it us. Let's just do our own. The Blackpool International Cup, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
John says the world will be back to normal.
Scotland used to have an American football team. What gridiron football team, is that right?
Yeah, there's a Canadian team in the rugby. In the rugby over here, there's a team based in Canada that plays in the English League, which is bizarre. But money's just bought them in.
That's in rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, rugby.
Yeah. Daniel Teckers lives down the road from Les Ferdinand.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you what. I don't live near anybody.
I used to live around the corner from Len Ganley, the snooker umpire.
Oh.
That's my
Nick Muller
neighbouring claim surveyor.
spoke to Roy Hodgson hours before he got the England job. He asked me a question about red peppers. Got home, turned on TV. They said, "Here's the new England manager." I thought, wow.
Wow. What did he want to know about red peppers?
What? Was this in
the
like the supermarket?
Well, they'd be wed peppers, wouldn't they? If it was
Seagulls are popular nowhere. Yeah, they're not popular seagulls.
Oh, I
are they?
don't know. They can make a good photograph.
Yeah,
it's
you
nice to
actually
see
see
them
some
back.
good ones at the start of my video when I get it out there. Blackpool got some great seagulls.
I like the babies.
Yeah,
they're still massive.
Yeah, they are massive.
But yeah, they're definitely back in Blackpool now, the Seagulls. Smithy says we had that geezer Taylor Fletcher at the Den, 2015 on loan. Liked his Tucker Fletcher. Yeah, he wasn't skinny, was he?
No, he was a good player though, Gary Taylor Fletcher. He really was.
He's another one that I never really saw it. So I got, one of my friends absolutely loved him, and I'm like, I don't know, I just didn't, the players that excite me are like, tricky wingers. I love a winger or an attacking fullback.
He was great, Gary Taylor. God, he was amazing. In fact, it's the whole reason we didn't beat, West Ham.
Yeah, Mr. Morley says GTF's one of his top 10 Blackpool players he's seen.
If he hadn't got blooming injured,
class despite being as slow as me.
Having to play Kevin Phillips from the start cost us against West Ham because GTF getting
Blackburn 1, West Brom 1. Oh, that's good news.
Blackburn have got a goal back. Yes, Ipswich shirt is a copy of the 1981 shirt. He's going to buy it with his season ticket refund vouchers. Well, another shirt for you, Nick. You'll obviously love that. Yeah. It sounds like a great one because you couldn't get it in 1981. I think you said they didn't do shirts then.
Yeah, Ryan says problem with season ticket only is look at us at Rangers, 42,000 season tickets in a 51,000 capacity stadium, not possible. And then would you go on for length that they've held the season tickets? Maybe they've got to narrow it down somehow.
Do they not have season tickets at Rangers then?
They've got 42,000 season tickets in a 51,000 capacity stadium. So if it was season ticket holders only, it's
yeah. Sorry, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, you couldn't social distance, could you? Yeah, we'd probably have to go on who's had the tickets the longest then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They've been totally cleared. Manchester City, FIFA and UEFA are dodgy. Yes, they absolutely are. In fact,
it's football. It's anything where there's
where money can politics. I mean, the thing that FIFA did, when they were all investigating, they just kind of investigated themselves, didn't they? They closed it all down. Eggball followed the Scottish Claymores, they were called. Yeah.
Smithy says used to show tourists around the smoke doing a Jack the Ripper tour. Packed it in because it cut me off from society.
Yes.
Jack the Ripper tour.
Jack the Ripper tour. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Who are your favourite Blackpool players from the last 10 years?
Brett Ormerod. Yeah, last 10 years. Yeah. Well, all the Premier League. DJ Campbell, obviously.
DJ was
Charlie
amazing,
Adam, David Vaughan. Yeah. All them. I just loved Ormerod. I actually like Keegan Parker and Andy Morrell. I thought they were
They're a bit longer than 10 years ago.
Oh, is it? We're going back 10 years. 10 years.
10 years, like Premier
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Well, we haven't seen 5 of it, have we? So
no.
can't really talk about 10 years because we ain't got 10 years to talk about.
And we were a bit shit last season.
Yeah, we weren't. Yeah, there was. I mean, I thought Nangele was all right this season, but nothing this season.
Feeney when he's on form,
Feeney, yeah, and obviously Kai when he was playing, he was exciting, wasn't he? But
I'd be interested to see what Feeney does under Critchley, whether he can keep, playing as he. I guess he will, won't he? But I guess we'll have other strings to our bow other than just Feeney and Angela next season. Well, we need to because we haven't got an Angela, have we?
Has anybody got a favourite Blackpool player from the last 10 years that we haven't mentioned out of those that we quickly rattled off? I mean, Stephen Craney, he was great. I actually like Baptiste. Yeah, I thought Baptiste was a good player. I did like Keith Southern.
It was just like the whole team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a team.
DJ was special.
Bloody awesome, wasn't he? He really was awesome. Everybody's doing the Len Ganley stance song from the debut album of Half Man, Half Biscuit. Another one for Lee to sing.
Oh, right. Don't know that one. Do you know that one?
No, because I don't think I've heard of Half Man, Half Biscuit, but they're not. I'm more into dance dance music.
Well, we shall look that up, Mr. O'Malley. Thank you.
Soul
Thank you
and
for
dance.
that link and list stats.
St Albans were going to play Hemel Hempstead,
In the Heart
the
Senior
biggest
Cup?
rival in the Heart Senior Cup final. I had a feeling that it would have been one of my best vlogs ever. Yeah,
Oh, God,
that's the
yeah.
thing, isn't it? You know, especially when you're a vlogger. Honestly, I've got so upset sometimes this past year because, you know, like if you lose, you know, at one time we were losing and it was just like destroying everything I was doing, and then the Sunderland game was coming up and that was going to be a massive game and it was going to like get me loads of more subscribers, and since then it's really hard. I mean, we keep picking them up, but they're just 1s and 2s and 3s, where times I was picking up nearly, you know, 50, 60 new subscribers just on a football match, and you kind of think, you know, if you'd, you know, when we're playing Reading, if we'd have beaten Reading and we'd have got a really good cup draw, what it could have done to the vlog. You know, you're so desperate for these games to go in your favour,
It will come.
which makes you see why some of the big guys like Thogden, he's just given up on Bolton. He's just doing all sort of random games now. He doesn't even bother with Bolton because he knows it just won't do his channel any good. So he goes off to, you know, I've watched he's done a few like in Germany, and he went to Rangers, and he went to he went to Liverpool Watford game, didn't he, where they got beat. That was another massive game for him. How could he go to that game? Why would he choose Watford against Liverpool? The only game that Liverpool lost. He got, you know, hundreds of thousands of views on it. So yeah, it is hard. It would have been a great vlog for years. It would have been. It's really important.
Nick Muller says if they had a British Cup, you should not have Welsh teams that play in the English leagues allowed in it, only teams that play in their country's leagues. Oh, this is like a club cup competition.
No, I think no, definitely countries. Definitely countries. I think we should just invent our own cup. We should just invent one. We should just say it's going to be at Wembley, and you're going to come over to England, and you can play it, you know, and in the summer, and just be a big, massive football event and stuff them. Just do our own thing. They won't give it us, so do our own. I don't...
Should we do that with Eurovision as well, so we've got a chance of winning it?
Yeah, just stage the Eurovision in our own country, have our own singing competition with only judges from England, but. No, we should definitely do our own competition.
Movie.
They'd all love to come.
Has anybody seen the Eurovision movie? It's I think it's about America and sort of trying to sell Eurovision to the Americans. So that'll be interesting to see the fallout of that. But yeah, I want to watch it.
What's it on?
Is
it on something?
Yeah, I think it's Netflix. I think.
Oh, we'll have to watch it. We actually, I haven't watched the Eurovision, I don't know, for years and years. And Jane's a Eurovision fanatic, and we watched it this year, but they didn't. It wasn't on, so they had to do like a social distancing thing. But it was really good. I actually, funnily enough, some of the music I thought was amazing. There were some really good dancers things and everything. I was amazed at how good it was.
It's on my bucket list to go to Eurovision. So watch this space.
So we will be going. We will be going to Eurovision.
Rotterdam 21.
Right, let's
oh
just
gosh,
move down
Mr. Moley says we're building an anti-fantasy 11. Sealy goes to the a Jane anti-fantasy 11. Sealy, oh god, am I being a bit harsh today?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's there. You're definitely Sealy will definitely be goalkeeper. Fletcher, yeah, I wouldn't say I was anti him. I was definitely anti Burgess and Murphy.
Liam
White
White is
can
back.
we have Neil Whitworth in there as well? I haven't forgiven him for for his performance in one of the 5-0 home defeats to York City. So he definitely has to go in there as well.
We'll have to make a list of this. James,
Mr. Moan's
James
on it.
anti fantasy 11. Yes,
Nightmare
Turncoat Everett. Ryan Dunbar saying Turncoat. Yeah. Honestly, I love Ian Everett. He's one of my favourite players, and I've already said how he came to visit my dad in the hospice before he died. A great affection for him. We went to Barrow to interview him last season, and I wanted him to do so well, and he's gone to Bolton, and I just don't want him to do well with Bolton. I just don't. For the first time ever, I just want him to fail miserably because I can't stick Bolton. So.
Mr. Moley used to go to a barber's in London called Jack the
Clipper,
great
yeah, brilliant. Oh, Liverpool, Burnley have equalised against Liverpool. They've gone a bit Liverpool, haven't they, since they won the title? They've gone to pieces.
Doesn't matter.
Nia Kirby, yeah, he was all right. Yeah, we liked Nia Kirby.
Didn't really see a lot of him.
Saw him more on TV, didn't we, really?
Yeah. Saw him, he was just at the back end of last season.
Seb liked him. Seb really liked him. Because I did say to somebody, obviously I've been going to football with said, before the, we all went on this not a penny more, and in the 5 years he'd gone from asking about Bloomfield Bear, the last time I took him when he was little, and then I take him to his next match, and he sat next to me, and he's going, "Oh, what Nia Kirby's this," and he's talking about all these players. And I'm thinking he's not blooming talking about Bloomfield Bear anymore. He completely changed, and it was amazing. I missed all them years. It's kind of sad, really.
Aid says Potts just missed a great chance for Preston.
Oh,
shame.
good, blooming heck! I don't want Preston to win today.
Potentially, was it Jordan Thompson? He was always on the floor all the time. He annoyed me. Maybe he can be in my 11.
Oh yes, it could be.
I mean, he did get quite good once he stayed on his feet, but I think he'd annoyed me too much by that point. So yeah, I would potentially have him in
the anti-fantasy 11 managed by Larry.
We definitely managed by Nigel Worthington. Nigel Worthington, really, because I mean, Larry was dreadful last season, but yeah.
Ben's saying.
I think it.
Ben's saying we're spot on about something, but we don't know because we're a little bit behind on this.
But to be honest, I am very still to this day very disturbed by Larry this time around, and we still can't watch Sunderland until I die the first series, can we? Because I just don't want him in the living room. Is
this Daniel? Is this on your vlog? This on New Year's Day since Albion lost 1-0, the goal. The referee was awful, so angry, he was shouting and swearing. He went a bit OTT. Is that on your vlog? We'll have to check it out if you start swearing.
I do get a bit sweary.
Jane swears a little bit. Yes, she does.
Usually at referees or Joe Nuttall.
Yeah, or Joe Nuttall. Yeah, he did. Yeah, there's Jane swearing about Nuttall at Tranmere. Just wait till we get up there to Ibrox. Yeah, we're looking forward to this. It'd be great.
I think it was the team that, in general.
The new Ipswich away kit is made from plastic that's been removed from the ocean. It's a great shirt.
Wow, that's nice.
They're making shirts from plastic. I must admit, there's people keep going on about all this plastic in the ocean, but there's all these companies that are starting to take it out now, and it's giving them like all these opportunities to launch these big companies that clean up the oceans and everything. So there's always somebody makes money out of it at the end of the day. I would say if people didn't drop litter, there wouldn't be any point of road cleaners, would there? So it keeps people in.
But stop dropping litter.
Yes, don't drop litter in Blackpool.
Because there's a lot of it.
Half man, half biscuit are still going strong. Old Tranmere fans refuse to go on the tube. Really? Is it a Friday evening clash with an evening? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yes. It did. Yeah, they did. They did used to play.
I read that somewhere recently. That was in the book I reviewed last week, I think.
Toonami TV is here, by the way. He's another vlogger, and if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, he's a Newcastle United vlogger, and he's one of our good friends. And subscribe to him if you can. Unfortunately, Newcastle have lost today, haven't they? We were saying you might be a little bit gutted about that.
Heartfelt. There was that stat about Half Man, Half Biscuit. The book I reviewed last week about the Hibs fan who goes to watch Hearts for a season.
John Walters is I'm a Manchester City fan since 1989 because my late mum was a City fan. I've always considered Blackpool my second team and always follow them. And just a little bit of trivia for you here. My dad, his second team was Manchester City, and his second team were Manchester City because the goalkeeper for Manchester City was Frank Swift, who died in he's a Manchester City goalie, but he died in the Munich air disaster. And Frank Swift was my dad's godfather. So that is why my dad was always City. He didn't go and watch or anything, but he always was City because of Frank Swift. Yeah, so there you are. That's a bit of trivia for you. So my dad's godfather was Frank Swift, and he's very, very famous Manchester City goalkeeper. Should Defo do an English Cup for other countries to come in? Yeah, of course we should. I mean, yeah, all these stadiums that we have, we could just, we could put a World Cup on tomorrow, couldn't we? Apart from the coronavirus, if they just said, Qatar can't do it, England, can you put it on? We could just put a World Cup on. We've got that many stadiums, haven't we, that take 60,000. So British Cup, we should definitely do it and stuff FIFA. We'll still go to FIFA, but we'll have our own cup. And we can always have it in England and everybody come over. It can't be taken off us. It's our cup.
We had the conifers over here a few years ago.
Yeah, we did, but I don't want something that comes here occasionally. I want something that we do every 4 years in between the Euros and the World Cup somewhere, the year 2 or year, in the middle of it anyway. In the middle of those two things, we should have our own cup.
Ryan's talking about an American film set in Iceland and Edinburgh, shot in Glasgow.
Ah, yeah. Wow.
What's that?
What is that? Gazza and his mate Jimmy Five Bellies chatted my sister up years ago. I was at Newcastle Airport. She was an air stewardess. Told Gazza to sling his shepherd's crook. Great lad, Gazza. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have a little...
Whitworth and Ethan Jones in your Fantasy 11.
Yeah. Oh, Ethan Jones. No,
Ethan Jones
there
was
might be another
no
one.
British Eurovision
He
with
doesn't annoy
football
me as much as
chants.
Whitworth.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Spot on about Thogden. Spot on about Thogden. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's lucky, isn't he? He's lucky. I don't know. He's had a lot of luck. That Thogden is.
Yeah, Mr. Moley's right. It has to be Worthington over
He's not
Larry.
all that good,
because
really.
Larry carries over goodwill from his first spell. Does he? Oh, does he though? I think it.
Who's worth
difficult.
Worthington or Larry for you?
Worthington was just all bad. I mean, really.
Larry had
it's
good,
just...
didn't he? Larry's like half and half, and he's half good, half bad.
Yeah, maybe it has to be Worthington.
Did we hear the Tottenham story of Jimmy Five Bellies and Gazza?
I don't know. Remind us.
Punk Smell and the Stink Bombs. We're lost there. Yes, we saw Sharky that you lost 2-1. Oh, you lost 2-1 Watford as well. Oh dear, you're not having a good run, are you, Newcastle? What's going on with that owner? Is he in yet? Will the Ipswich players get their heads stuck in the necks? Will they have bigger heads than the Ipswich players back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost 2-1 to Watford. Steve Brief had no plan B second half. The lads can't be bothered on the beach. Nothing to play for. Yeah. John Wall says, yeah. Frank Swift, yeah. I'll see, what a great goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Should have been segregation in that game because they threw a metal bar over the fence and it almost hit in oh gosh. That's
Did
bad.
it? Wow.
It's really bad.
So that's on your vlog?
It's like in the 70s.
John Walters will go to an Elvis event in Blackpool.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Is there going to be
They have an Elvis convention, don't they?
Do they?
I'd love to go to that.
In Blackpool?
Yeah, in Blackpool, yeah. Yeah, the Elvis convention.
Some say Gazza is a kettle and a hob, but I love the geezer. So I think it's I think
Kettle and hobnob?
It's just Gazza's he's just English folklore hero, isn't he? He was just amazing. It was just a shame he got that injury.
Oh, the Eurovision film. It was filmed in.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, right.
Oh, filmed. Yeah. FIFA and UEFA are all Al Capone's underpants. Yes, they are. They're all totally corrupt.
Ben says you're better than Thogden, more passion, more effort, better entertainment. But follow your club. If he only went Bolton games, he would have about 25k. Yes, 300k now. No, absolutely, I agree. You should stick with your club. I mean, maybe do the odd other game in between, perhaps. You know, we're discussing about maybe doing like a. Going off it's the idea actually.
Do some European ones with
Yeah, idea I got from the
You're up for that, Ben?
from the
some
European superfan thing, just like going off to a random European match in Europe and just enjoying the city. It's just kind of an excuse for a holiday midweek. Get cheap flights midweek. Yeah, so.
I'd actually like to do something with a load of football vloggers. Get a sort of like a group. I watched a video actually where a lot of vloggers had gone to Casey Neistat's, Casey Neistat, who's obviously the biggest, YouTube vlogger, or he was, the original. But a load of vloggers all went to a meeting of vloggers at Casey Neistat's place in New York, and they all filmed and collaborate together. And and I think doing something a lot of vloggers will go into a match will be really cool for all the channels, but. It'd be great.
Dan says England should host the World Cup, then it will truly be coming home. Yeah.
Well, of course it should, but they won't give it us, will they? They just won't give us the World Cup. I don't know why. We should have hosted. I mean, how they gave it to Qatar? Nobody will ever know, will they? It was a ridiculous decision. Which is still haunting us now. We've got to have a stupid World Cup in the middle of whenever, January or something. When is it?
Well, who knows now? We're not even had the Euros yet, have we? Mr. Moley says Paul Ince must be a shout for worst recent manager. He had some good players and managed to fashion a terrible side. He was interested only in his son's progress. Yeah, and the discipline was really bad, wasn't it? The discipline was terrible under Paul Ince, particularly bad. But no, he didn't emotionally scar me. He didn't really, hurt me like. Nigel Worthington was just, and Larry. Larry really, really upset me this time round. So,
What's this? Long story.
Graham Carr was pretty bad as well. He was the
Yeah,
first.
Alan Carr's dad. That. Long story short, says Ryan Dunbar, the ball goes over the fence at Tottenham training ground. Gazza goes to get it, comes back riding an ostrich to training.
An actual ostrich.
A real ostrich.
Crazy. Takeover at Newcastle is still with the Premier League.
Still with the Premier League, so that's not been ratified yet.
Oh, Mr. Moley says Elvis convention each year in Blackpool on the 12th of
never. Oh,
No, I'd love to go. When I was living in
that's a long, long
Walsall,
time.
actually, there was a Yam Yam Elvis. If you don't know, the people from the Black Country are called Yam Yams. And I was thinking, oh, I've got to go and see this Yam Yam Elvis, because I just imagined him singing in a Black Country accent, but he didn't, apparently. So, well, as soon as I found that,
Daniel
I didn't go.
Tekers tells us he plays the guitar and he can sign. Is that a deaf and dumb sign?
Sing.
Oh, sing. Oh. I can play the piano, but I can't sing. Thogden seems to have forgotten about Bolton and he's meant to be a fan of them. Yeah, he's just giving...
You would, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just... No.
Don't know. He just doesn't have that likability factor.
Jane doesn't like him at all. She can't even watch him at all. He just annoys her somehow. But I don't know, he's done very well.
Maybe he can be like
he's done very well.
Fantasy vlogger.
Cosmos says absolutely. Ipswich's European fame. Yeah, it was a long way. You probably could have got to somewhere like Germany quicker than you got to Ipswich on that night. You could have got like a train to Manchester Airport, flown out, and been there quicker than you got to Ipswich. It was a long way for you, wasn't it?
John says Elvis impersonators are wonderful. They make me smile.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. We'll have to go to an Elvis if there's ever an Elvis convention. I can't.
They do have it. It's a
Do it
thing
in Blackpool?
Yeah, in Blackpool. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure it's like a big convention at the Winter Gardens, but it's a thing.
It's
where they all
normally
come
held
together.
at the Winter Gardens,
is
so
it?
there we are. So we're
Ah,
gonna have to go
yeah.
to this Elvis convention. Then that sounds.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds awesome.
Ben saying, "What was the driving like that we went to last week?" It was awesome. It was really good.
Yeah,
We
worth
went to see
going.
The Greatest Showman. Basically, because we didn't know there was going to be any more, so we just went for The Greatest Showman, and then they announced that Grease was coming, so we went to do Grease, and Grease was just awesome. But we went to the late show of Grease, so it was really dark. The problem with the earlier show, it wasn't dark. The screen's fine because they're not projecting it with a projector. It's like on a giant screen, like at a stadium, so it's really crystal clear. But it just wasn't right not being dark. I liked it in the dark. The Grease, it was great.
But it's really good. I was saying earlier, if you put your hazard lights on, they'll come over and take your food order, and they'll bring you like popcorn, burgers, beer, chips, sweets.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Look out for it. It's they're called Safe Events, and it's in Out Rawcliffe on a farm. So it was meant to be in Thornton, but they changed the venue.
And we had to go. You have to go over this little toll bridge to
Oh,
get
it's
there
so
as
cute.
well. It's 50p to go over, but honestly, it's a beautiful little bridge, and it's so magical. It's absolutely wonderful.
It's nearly time. So
Yes, John Walter said we invented the sport like so many sports was invented on the British Isles. Yes, of course.
Nick says, why don't goalkeepers make good managers? That's an interesting question.
Ryan Dunbar saying,
Never really thought about that.
up pops Ukrainian defender Oleg
Kuznetsov.
So therefore the son was born Oleg Singh. Do you get that? Do you understand?
No,
Ryan,
what was the first part of that?
I don't know. We've lost that one.
Daniel saw Thogden when he went to Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Yeah, again, not Bolton.
Right, we'll just kind of catch up here on a few things. Why don't? Never liked Richard Dunn at Manchester City. Always booked and sent off. A bit of an idiot, was he? Two Army say it's frustrating because with 3 games to go, we're safe now. The fans need answers from the Premier League and from the club. We need to plan for next season. What is Bruce's future? Yes, of course you do. It's crazy, isn't it? You need an answer. What are the? It's either yes or no, isn't it? Daniel Tecker saw Thogden when I went to Chelsea versus Aston Villa.
Dan likes, I know Thogden's doing his own thing, but on his vlogs when he goes to Scotland or wherever he goes in Europe, he celebrates. But you can't celebrate with a team you don't support. Plastic.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Well, you could as a guest. I mean, if we go with a
you
guest.
can't. I don't think it's possible to watch a match and not sort of take sides. There's always one that you probably want to win, isn't there? So
Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't be like
The
authentic
other guys are
celebrating.
good. The under the cosh guys are good because they always go in the away end and they go with the away fans. It doesn't matter. They just support the away team every time, and they get beat. They get beat. They don't care. But that's one thing. That's John Parkin of Preston. So.
Toonami TV says, I see Blackpool have joined us in having Puma as your kit manufacturer. A smart choice. We've been with Puma since 2010. Yeah, we're just saying it looks really good. The training gear we've seen. We haven't seen the kit yet, have we?
It does look really good. Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. It's the best kit manufacturer we've had for a while. I mean, these are Feeler. This is Feeler. These were pretty good. I thought these were decent.
Mr. Moley says, after all these terrible puns...
Oh, sorry.
My wife has just run off with a hypotenuse. I really should have seen the signs.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh.
Tangerine Dan said it's a shame that they put the Puma logo above the historic badge on the Newcastle shirt. Have they done that? That's not very good, is it? Were we on the back row of the movies? Kissing on the back row? No, you just got shunted into a... In fact, they packed the cars in very, very tight. You couldn't get out. You couldn't even open your door. It was so tight together. It was to get them all in. It wasn't so bad on the next one, was it? On the Greece one, we had a bit more.
No, because they split that. They had so much demand. They actually split it into 2 screenings. Hence, we went to the other one that kicked off at 9:30.
Oh my God, the Puma kits for City next year will be ridiculous. Are they? Oh, did Man City have Puma as well? Well, decent.
Cod's vlog says goalies spend so much time on their own, that could be a problem.
Yeah, maybe they're not. Yeah, maybe they're not like a team. Because they don't like train with the team quite as much as maybe that's why they don't make good managers.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there could be something in that.
So if you actually break down at the drive-in, you'll be really full by the end of the night. Yes. In fact, they had a thing if you did break down and your car couldn't start.
And they jump you at the
because
end,
one night, the windscreen wipers you had to go in. You couldn't have your engine running, so they were there ready to give you a jump start if you couldn't get off. The sound is very good. Yeah, the sound is great. It was all brilliant. It came through your radio. Liam White's bye. It's gone.
Pop. Yeah, we are coming up.
Sorry, we're just trying to catch up.
We are in injury time now, so just quickly rattle through.
We need to get through these pretty quickly then. Nappa's mum, thanks Jill. She's had a wonderful afternoon. Thank you. We've enjoyed it too.
Thank you for coming, taking part.
Good channel, Top Drone 82. Found it in lockdown. Is that a YouTube channel? We'll have to. God bless from Alan Smith. Great afternoon. Gonna film my Derby Kelly now with some Ruby Murray. So
that sounds great. Yeah, I might join you there. Geezers and geezettes. Yeah, see you, Smithy. Thanks for copying in again.
If they stop fans filming in grounds, that's Thugden channel finish. Well, I don't know if they're really gonna stop it because there's a.
We're just publicising them at the end of the day.
Yeah, you kind of. You are promoting them. The Elvis Festival was supposed to be held last month in Blackpool, but is now at Great Yarmouth, 11th to 18th September. So we've lost it.
Go for my birthday.
Oh.
We were that guy was vlogging Great Yarmouth, wasn't he?
Yes,
really
he was.
Good.
Yeah, it does look very nice. Yeah, it's actually a place I fancy. St Albans have got a new sponsor called Hummel Sport. Heard of them?
I can't believe I just said I want to go to Great Yarmouth for my birthday.
The reason I mentioned Puma this is from Toonami TV. The reason I mentioned Puma is because our Puma deal and our Fun 88 sponsor finishes at the end of the season. We don't know what the kits are going to be, Puma or something else. Fun 88 or something else. You don't know. The whistle's blown. Yes, we know, but we're still waiting for the scores, aren't we? Oh, it means the sound on this is amazing. Oh yes, thanks Ben. Yeah, it's been a while, but we've cracked it. Yeah, with the microphones and everything.
Ryan is asking how we got the sound in the cinema through the radio. We were given the FM frequency. It couldn't be do it on a digital radio, but if you've got an FM radio, you just tune into 87.7 or whatever it was, and you could hear the sound from the movie. It was very good.
We go just for Ben is asking the sound. The microphones go into a microphone thing, and then it goes into a Zoom H1N, a Zoom recorder, which takes the feed into the computer straight in. So it's taken a while, but we have got the sound good. Liverpool perfect home run comes in 1-1. Take care. Yeah, take care,
Yeah,
Sharky.
you too. Daniel's going to go and watch the Chelsea Sheffield United
How's
game. He's
Preston
going to do
going on?
a film a match vlog.
Preston is still. Oh, is that full time? Preston
What was
1-1. It says half time. HT.
Don't only kick off at weird. No, 89 minutes.
Oh, they're still going. We'll just wait for the Preston score. We don't want them to win. We don't want a late goal at Deepdale.
No, we don't. Not for them anyway. Right, well, thank you guys. We're sort of 10 minutes over now, so it's been great having you here. We've enjoyed it. And don't forget, we're back on Tuesday night for the football quiz, which we're getting there with the quiz now, aren't we? I mean, it is good. If you've never come, do pop in, because we do have a laugh. It's quite short. I mean, we start at 8. The questions will run till usually about 8:30, and then we go through the answers that can take us, up towards 9 o'clock. But it's we've got some great rounds in there now. You will enjoy it.
Yeah, you need to you need to get in as well. We actually put the anagram round up about 5 minutes before, like in the run into the show, so you can get your anagrams up and get them. So it's no use turning up too late, but you can always play it on the rerun. In fact, the best thing to do if you haven't been in the quiz is just to have a look at last week's, and you'll see the sort of thing that we do. Just have a look at the one we did last week.
David says, see you Tuesday. He wants his spoon back. Are there any rounds that you're particularly bad at, David, that we could put in there for you to help you get your wooden spoon back?
Yeah, anything that's really tough for you, we'll include it to make sure. Tangerine Dan, see you, Tangerine Dan. Thank you very much. And we'll just say, we're just still waiting for the final whistle at Deepdale. It's still 1-1.
Yeah, stay
Still
safe yourselves.
1-1.
Mr. Moley, thank you for coming in. It's been a nice surprise to have you here after you'd sent your apologies, so that was lovely. Who was watching the League One final? Stop taunting Ben. We like Ben.
Nick, you're being so cruel to him. I'm sure he probably won't watch it. I mean, I don't watch the World Cup when England get knocked out. I don't even bother watching it.
Right.
MCFC, the first to 100 like the Flying Scotsman. Oh. Were they? Oh, did they get 100 points? City? Did they actually get 100?
No, I don't think even Liverpool were there yet.
Loads of smileys. Right, we're gonna go. It's 90+1 at Deepdale. Bye, Daniel. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Anything after 2000 he's really bad at, so okay, we'll do something more recent football. For David.
Yes, God, give it him back, Ben. That's it. Where were you in the playoffs? Yeah, hashtag mid-table. Absolutely. Yeah. So shut up, Nick. Ipswich fell to pieces. What happened to Ipswich? They were cruising at one stage, weren't they?
Did they even manage to not beat Blackpool?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They didn't manage to beat Blackpool.
No, they did Fleetwood though. Actually.
A wooden spoon.
Spoon.
Thanks again, Ryan. Right, we're going to go. They're still not called the final whistle on Preston, so we're just going to fingers crossed that it's 1-1. But thanks a lot for
coming, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
We will see you on Tuesday for the quiz. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us. We've really enjoyed your company.
Yeah, you've been great.
Tell your friends, and there was quite a lot of text today, so we've done our best to kind of keep up with it. But it's been. No, Nick, you can't chant at the moment. You need another season to redeem yourself, Ipswich. Right, we're going. Thank you very much. Bye everyone. Bye. See you later.